You can't turn a hoe into a housewife. Good. Because I'm both. You don't have to choose. I thought you wanted me to be a little whore. No? Oh, wasn't fun. I'm going to start calling people's opinions of me fan theories, because that's truly what they are. They are based in nothing but falsehood, projections, and judgment. Not too much creativity put into that. Now, I don't do apologies because I am so not sorry. To regret anything I've done is to regret the awareness that I've gained. I don't like the sound of that. If it taught me something, it made me better. So why do I have to pacify a man to make you feel better? Because the difference between me and you is that I have more courage in my big toe than you do in your whole entire body.
Well, you know, at least your toe's not that big, Brittney, you know, because you're a woman. Because a man can't find that attractive, your toe's bigger than his. I'm just saying.
And anything that I say, just telling the truth, anything I say that scares someone off, I'm glad. Because that's one less coward to waste my fucking time. Some fun facts about my sex life. Sometimes it's non-existent. Sometimes I just gotta masturbate. You know, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. There was one time where I thought I was, being Billy Badass, and I fucked 3 guys in a week. Had a mean yeast infection. That's not funny. But it wasn't funny. But looking back at it, I could laugh now. Oh, I love being choked. But, don't fucking really try to choke me. It's just more of, your hand placement, knowing that you're there. You see what I'm saying? You see how I just... don't fucking try to choke me out, Ted Bundy. I love when I'm having sex. And... I love when I'm having sex. And you know how your hand goes back like this? Ladies, you know what I'm talking about. And then they put their hand like that. Yeah, I love that.
Well, like always, shout out to the dry face looking Karen looking Brittney Renner, the Mississippi gal. But nonetheless, on to the music. Brace yourself, people. Hold on, guys. Let me run that again. Mm. All right. All right. All right. And let me see if I had one more before I start. Oh, I forgot one person. Okay, that's everything. So let me stop this. All right. Good evening. Welcome. Welcome to this special edition on the Cast Rain channel. If you're new to the channel, always what to do. Hit the red button and the top notification bell so you know where there's an upload or when I'm going live here on YouTube, the YouTube portion of the podcast. Also, as I'm trying to remember, please follow me on Twitter at ChaosRain7. I do tweets over there too. And if you are familiar with Facebook, you can now follow me on Facebook, Eric Rank on Facebook. I also have Discord as presented. I might leave the link for the invite for Discord. And really truly, for the coming broadcast, there's gonna be some lineups here. There's so much things to talk about. I mean, I don't know where to start when I start going to some of these subjects. I think one thing I forgot to mention is that I'm probably gonna have some more guests before the conclusion of this particular 2021 year. So be on the lookout for that. Um, One thing I am missing, if I can remember, is I would like to hear from y'all from all the uploads and the videos that's done on the Chaos Rain channel here on YouTube. I'd like to get some feedback to know what's your take on a lot of things. So if y'all can help me, please. Like always, y'all are listening and watching some of these videos, some maybe lengthy, some short, I don't know. But it's always good to get some real feedback on certain trending topics. And as you know, I will be more active in the community tab on the Chaos Rain channel, just for ideals, show ideals, etc. So I'm hoping that for y'all to give me some critical feedback. It will be appreciative. Um, as I'm scrolling down, make sure I have everything here. I'm just posting these things out. As you know, the title ahead, before I go into it, one other thing. I've noticed there was some trending new things done by Disney in regards to stepfathers and the black man's role of playing stepdaddy. I will cover that during the week. So if you're subscribed to the channel, make sure your notifications on high alert. And that is pretty much it. So now for the subject at hand, as a title, Trap Queens, are you safe? Now, as y'all know, the one IG model, the red bone, the red chick, the one they call Brittney Renner, has always been trending through the digital space we call social media. And because of her antics, her looks, her, I guess, bravada, she's been very much startling buzz of this new trend or this new revelation, what I like to call, or what these women that's over the age of 30 or under the age of 30, they want to self-proclaim call themselves renegades. Now, everybody knows, if you want to know the definition of a renegade, if y'all want to pull it up just for intellectual property or intellectual conversations, let's take a look. What is a renegade? And hold on. Let's see, renegade. And there's many forms of renegade, and they came out with a video game. Oh snap! And then they made it came with this. Oh, they did make a video game. Okay. Renegade. And I don't think this is a good platform to find the definitions. So let me open another window to know when these women talk about renegade, what it is. Oh, here we go. It says here, renegade.
Renegade.
That's interesting. Sound like my voice. Anyway, a renegade is a person who deserts and betrays an organization, country, or a set of principles. An agent who later turns out to be a renegade. Now, I know Miss Renner uses the word she's a renegade, but does she really have a clear sense what the fuck that is? That there is no type of loyalty or anything you could deal with a person that's a renegade. But I'm hearing this trend being put out here and being out here loosely of the term renegade. Now, I'm not sure what end game a lot of these women that's going to start take on this term notion renegade, but like what the definition says itself, that you cannot be a renegade in a Western world we live in, a first world nation. Now, it's either find a man could possibly be a renegade, but to find a woman call and proclaim herself as a renegade, it's very questionable. And there is no safety precaution or much anything that in regards to men protecting what we call renegades. And what's good to everybody in the chat room? I see you. Let me make sure I put this here so y'all know. And here's the funny thing about this, that if this is a new trend that is being developed now by, let's say, Brittney Renner or this other chick that was on the No Jumper podcast a few months ago, it lets you know as a man that you are going to be bombarded and be played if you're not careful as a man. As any age, 18 and over, especially if you're 18 years of age, a young black man. And really, truly, do you know the signs of you're dealing with a lit trap bitch? That's your question you should ask yourself. So let's play, or we'll listen to some quality audio a little bit more about this woman. As you know, I'm simulcasting, so I'll play the audio version of this. Who that? Who dares? Hey, what's good? What's good? And eventually, I'll open up for a few minutes for people that I want to leave some commentary. Yeah, this thing's still playing. So let me play the audio version of this. And hold on, what is this? That's some stupidness. Get rid of that. All right, guys. Let me play it.
Worst about me, and to be honest, it's way more.
Hold on. I gotta make sure this thing's working properly. Oh, there we go. Now I can see it. Let me shrink this window a little bit, guys. Perfect. Let me see if I can hear. You can hear it. I'm gonna test the other end, and you're gonna hear from this conversation as I give my little take on it. And one thing, as I listened through, and y'all might know about this, right? Through many interviews she has embarked on, from academic to Mr. Samuels. One thing is consistent that people don't know, that she is a woman in her own fashion that doesn't want to be controlled or want no man to tell her nothing at all, or be under the leadership of no man, from what she has said. But let's hear on to this little short interview.
Fun being the villain. So it's like, I'm really a sensitive, caring, genuine person, but I don't know how I'm supposed to translate my whole essence as a person onto a social media post. Like, you have to get me in person. You have to talk to me. I'm only someone that you can experience to understand, like, okay, so this is who she is. Instagram is play. That's my playground. It's fun.
Stop it. I remember you saying,
stop it.
Sorry, I'm not sorry. And it was one of those things where,
not sorry.
Yeah, so you know everything people are saying about you, and you're pretty much unapologetic, or you don't even feel the need to be like, hey, that's not correct.
But for me, I feel like the claims and what people say about me, it's so blasphemous that it's like, why would I address that? Like, there's nothing that's been said about me, from child support to being a pedophile to whatever claims. Like, I don't have to lie. I tell the truth and I get what I want. I have my way. It's just that.
Now, for most men, is she really being honest? Is she really telling the truth? That's what she wants us to have, or we want to believe. Now, we all know that we're in the era of the lit bitch, to Miss Jack. And we don't understand the nature of a lit bitch. And I had to sit back real hard and think good and say, with the internet today, there's a lot of women that's either an archetype like a Brittney Renner, or someone that is BBW, very fat and obese, that in their mind, they will consider themselves a lit bitch. And knowing this, a lot of women resemble and emulate themselves like Miss Renner. What's good, Sirism? And I tell you many times, and I remember when Kuda said it best, that a mouthpiece is very important. And I'm going to agree with him on this one. I'm definitely going to agree with him on this one. And the reason why, because you go out to really operate well, depending on what your age are as a man, you go out to know how to talk to people, especially some of these lit bitches. Because they are going to play you if you're not careful as a man, young man especially. We don't give much credit to a lot of the actual players or the real pimps out here because they do their little weirdness and all stuff, but they do hold some value in regards to understanding some form of game. And I'm gonna say this personally, because I have conversations with Charles Fulton Jr. about this, that you know where you stand as a man when you are across an attractive woman or an attractive voice. If you sit there and you fold and give not only your time and your resource automatically without getting your dick sucked, that tells me you have not grown out of the certain elements of the pills. From the blue pill onto red pill, and we could probably label the black pill if we want to throw that in the equation. But like I said, like my friend Charles said, and I remember Mr. Igmore said best, you know where you stand as a man when you're confronted or confronted by a good looking woman or a good looking voice of a woman. That is the greatest test where you how well you're in control. And I'm be honest with you, most majority men today, because there's such a great following with a lot of women that's on IG sitting their ass down on the sink, hopefully that the sink is clean as fuck, but sometimes the sink could be dirty, and take a picture of their behind to show how big it is. And she can get like 1,000 likes and attention. So let's move on. Let's continue. And what they want to call fair use and all that nonsense.
Simple. So it's like for me to get on here and be like, hey, you guys, I am not this person. Don't believe it. That's already doing too much. I don't really like how a lot of artists or people in the limelight handle controversy or adversity, because it's kind of like you're explaining yourself. You guys are I could sit here and tell you my story from front to back. You still aren't gonna feel sorry for me. You're not gonna empathize with me. You guys don't care. You guys have already dehumanized me in your minds.
You think that? Actually, we might. And actually, one of the reasons of having you up here, I said to myself, because I've seen women who people have certain perceptions about them, and whether those perceptions are true or not. When this episode has been brought to you by.
Hold on, guys. Wait 1 second. Let me do this. All right, as it continues.
And to get to know those women, I was like, damn, there's a lot of things that is just not glamorized, or a lot of factors not taken into consideration. Right. Hurt and a lot. When I see you talk, I'm like, yo, she's been hurt.
Right.
And I was like,
every time.
And I was like, the way she's reacting. And obviously, I react like every other dude online when I see you talk. I'm like, yo, what the fuck is she talking about?
She's so crazy. What is she saying?
When I think about it, I'm like, yo, she's been hurt a bit. And
no, academic, she's not crazy. She is a lit bitch. She's letting you know what she wants you to know. That's the whole game. And there's no tricking in her pursuit of, getting the bag. And we cannot just hustle what she's been doing for almost 9 years on the digital space we call IG, because she have a long resume of indulging in many cocks, getting many money, glamorous money, and is living the life. But it's funny, and it's really funny, that a woman like her, she does fulfill the fantasy of enough black men. And the reason why I say this is because she does not fit the typical archetype look of the typical black woman or the ABW, because she is a mixed breed, mother white, father black, sometimes you can't tell from the difference. Hell, I couldn't tell until I saw some old pictures of her without makeup. And I'm telling you right now, when she has no makeup on, she looks like a Caucasian woman. Dry face, at best. Very unattractive. And this is the consequence when you have very much light skin and you look mostly white. You need the makeup. I advocate most women that come from mixed race or light skin or white looking. Yes, you need to put on makeup. I will tell you, and I advise before you leave the house, put on some goddamn makeup. You need it. Not saying black women can't that has darker skin or brownish darker skin don't need makeup, but the darker the hue, the better your skin looks without makeup. That's how you keep your skin on the average. Well, most women nowadays they feel they need the makeup just to look beautiful, but there's exceptions to the rule. But the more light you are, you're going to require you need makeup just to look appealing. But nonetheless, let's continue on. Fair use.
That's why I'm interested in the story, because I'm like, you know what? There was a time where I thought the story didn't matter, and I saw other people who were sort of similar. I saw their story play out, and I was like, you can't understand any point of this without going back to the origin. Right. So I'm like, you know what? Let me see if she's just either number one playing everyone, or this is genuine because of just what she's been through. And like, really, I'm so we actually said this off camera, which I was like, we got to start the cameras because we're pretty much doing it. The conversation before. The first time I ever spoke to you, or actually the first time I seen you, I believe may have been, and I don't follow everything. Like right now, I'm not into TikTok, but I remember seeing you. Two things. 6ix9ine was on live with you at one point, and then I saw you on No Jumper with Tiana Trump. And I was trying to make up my mind, and I think you were writing a book around that time. And I made up my whole...
I heard she wrote a book. Has anybody read her book? I have not read a book. But from what I'm hearing, the book kind of lays out her sexual journeys with random men in the business, particularly. And the funny thing, because she might not view herself as engaged in horrorous acts, this is the stage where most women are very delusional in their behaviors and actions. And we all know when most men don't understand that you're gonna find women that feels what they're doing out here is normal. And we all know it's not normal behavior to be engaged in multiple acts of multiple partners, because the more you have sex, the more you're gonna have the least capability of pair bond with the mate of your choice, or who you want to stay with on the average. But like I said, you can't tell most women nothing because they feel they could do and engage in activities like a man and get the same results. And we all know that's bullshit. But I'm just saying. Let's continue.
Mind about you then. I think a lot of people do.
Okay. That's fair. You're entitled to feel how you feel.
What was going on in your life at that point?
When I was writing my book?
Not only while you were writing your book, like when you were going through those experiences you wrote about in your book, and also like we had a quick conversation. Like, I did think 6ix9ine fucked. I thought he fucked you. I ain't gonna lie to you. Sorry. I thought he did. Because I was thinking you were a person who was just hopping from dick to dick in the industry. Let's talk.
Okay, so first things first, if I wanted to hop dick to dick, that's my prerogative. It's my pussy, my choice. So just because it's not your dick doesn't mean you get to judge me for what I do with my pussy. That's first things first. Okay. Second thing is I feel like Tekashi is someone who is widely misunderstood. And granted, I know there are repercussions to the decisions that he's made. The person that I met is also very different in real life versus social media. So the person I got to know, I feel like he really has he's a good person at heart. So no, we definitely never had sex. When we did go on live together and he was like, yeah, we got that tape. He was just...
Now, if y'all are familiar, Akachi 6ix9ine is another fake one rapper. Hold on. A fake rapper that gotten a lot of push through the black community, especially from young black men. And my thinking of the business side of things that a lot of people could come up real big on here if they know the right person. And I think with a lot of young black men and old black men, you must understand that you are building up other people for what reason? For, in my opinion, chump change. I don't see a lot of these people that build other non-black people in the business that they're really benefiting. The last person I knew that benefit off this was, I think, Akon with Lady Gaga, because he made like a quick almost 100 million off Lady Gaga. I could be wrong, but I don't know many black artists, entertainers that's getting up on these other non-black entertainers in the music business. I'm just saying. I could be wrong, but y'all could address it in the comment section if I'm right or wrong. But before I continue, let me do this. All right, I'm back. It looks like I'm able to find something. So let me see if this can run this. I'm gonna close some windows down. Let me check something. I'm probably gonna fast forward this because I found a good audio version of this.
Come on now.
I think that's a girls have like a certain. Girls have a certain.
All right. Let me run this one instead. I'm gonna fast forward it because I was able to upload this. So let me do this.
I don't want to say curated, but definitely spearheaded by like people like Superhead and other people in terms of,
Okay.
hey, I fucked a bunch of lane. I won't say of being a porn star, doing you did.
It was just that simple. Like, he's a good person, but no, we were never romantic. It was never like that.
So,
but I was okay with people thinking that. I don't care. You're gonna think we already think we fuck, because like, why would we just link up?
Of course, no. By the way,
Yeah.
she's
I know
she's
her.
a sweet person. I talked to her a lot.
Yeah. Before I continue, now throughout the whole interview, she says she only has 3 bodies under her name throughout the 29 years of her life. Now, do we all believe that as men? Nah. But we all know that one thing, if you're gonna be in part of the business, there's no such thing as what we call free. You're gonna have to give up something to get something, especially in that form of life, the entertainment business. And I tell you, the entertainment business is very messy. And a person, so if you don't know or don't have an understanding, you know now. And mind you, there are many entertainers in the field that talks about the messiness of the business. And don't take my word for it. You have to listen to the ones that's in the business, especially other men, black men. They tell you how much women that's falls under their feet because they have the illusion that this man has a lot of money. And by getting in proximity of a so-called man of value, aka with money, is better than having nothing. So when you see these IG models getting flied out from Dubai or any parts across the world, you know, you always gotta know that they have to give up the draws to get anything. It all across the board. Now, someone will lie till I do say that's not the case, but we all know the nature of man is different. I mean, we are men, so we understand it's better than anything else. So let's move on. Fair use.
She's cool.
By the way, Tiana, if you see this, it's a shame that she's here before you. Okay, we planned a bunch of stuff. Anyway, and just content, people, relax. But on some real shit though, I did feel you were trying to be in the lane. I won't say of being a porn star, even though I kind of thought you were about to go there. You were definitely trying to capitalize off a lane that has been, I don't want to say curated, but definitely spearheaded by like people like Superhead and other people in terms of,
Okay.
hey, I fucked a bunch of celebrities. Now let me tell you what it was like. You wrote a fucking book. That's the first time I heard about you. Why do a book? Like, again, you're going through life. You're probably meeting these people because you're attractive. Why the fuck are you doing a book? Why are you like telling like these tall tales about like, yo, hey, I was with this person, that person. That made people think that, hey, you are choosing this route.
Okay.
And I think that's fair.
I think that's a fair take, but did you actually listen or read my book at all?
I did not read the book.
Now, this is where DJ Academic goes wrong. You can't reference something that you have not took time and energy to read for yourself. Now, we all know that with most authors that engage in sexual promiscuity, like her or Superhead, Karen Stevens, they're not in no way, nature, or shape going to sit there expose the names of the people that they actually fucked or have sex with in the business. And the reason why that is because it's embarrassment and they could be potentially get sued. Which a lot of people know that you can't hurt another person image or what they do on a telltale book. That's not how it works. So like most women that do kiss and tell, they're not really telling you everything. They give you a glimpse of their sexual fantasies in paperback form, or digital form. And it has to make you have to use your imagination to think who the hell she's talking about. Now, what I heard from the Karen Stevens book that came out over 20 years ago, I think it's 20 years ago, maybe, that she did not use names of certain celebrities or artists in the business. But some people had a clean idea who those people are in the book. Now, with her book that she just released, I'm not sure when it was released, it's just to give you a little glimpse of her life and her promiscuous behavior. And if you remember from the video earlier, she screwed 3 dudes in 1 week or a few days, whatever. And she got a yeast infection. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. It tells you right there when a woman catch something, that means she's not have no pussy control. It's not a good look. Not a good look at all. Anyway, let's continue. Fair use.
Okay, so let's start there.
I saw. First of all, I saw excerpts and snippets where you were describing people's sex game, and I was like, "This is the same old, same old." We've seen this already. We've seen Superhead describe everybody's penis in the game. I'm sorry, I don't want to hear that Shaq has a 6-inch. I don't want to hear it. You feel me? Also, I was disappointed when you started breaking down details, which, again, going back to the book, I really want to figure out the mentality, because a lot of stuff I see, at first I keep saying I have a really upset response to it, like many people, but then I'm like, damn, it's a little hurt. When you put out sexual relations that you've had with celebrities, like for example, Uzi, I'm a big fan of his, right? And then we're like, oh wow, wait, whoa, why are we hearing about this? People who are, following, Black Lives Matter, or they're fucking with Kaepernick, and they're like, whoa, what's up with this shit? You know what I mean? Why did you do that?
Okay, well, I will say that if you were to read my book, it's 7 chapters about 7 different relationships. So I can tell you, I've fucked 30 guys my entire life. And trust me, the people...
To this day?
Yeah.
And for most people in most space, especially the manosphere, 30 men is too much, too many. Yeah, too much. And saying this, that, and this question be always asked: what is a good body count? A lot of men, they kind of tipping toes with that question. I'll keep it real blunt and give you answers that for those that will listen to this. Under 10 at best. And the reason why I say under 10, because let's be honest, there's not a lot of virgins out here in the first world nation here in America on the average. If you look at most people that get or had their first sexual experience, if I had to guess the ratio, if we want to go there, and then there are going to be no actual data on this, I would say roughly maybe after 10 years of age. And that's just being nice. Now, people say, how is it 10 years of age? Are these young boys and girls that's not even teenagers yet are getting in? I know of a story one time. A person told me this, that in the 8th grade, not 8th grade, my fault. Was it like, it's 8th grade? Might be 8th grade. Yeah, I think it's either 8 or whatever grade it was. And those like teenagers, 13 or 14, depending. That we all know that most of these young kids are getting in, right? They got sexually abused, which that could be the case, or they're just curious one way or the other. But these children are fucking younger and younger now. Not like it's nothing new, but it's more a trend now for a good long time. So to find out that if a young girl has got into sexual intercourse or engaged in sexual activities at a very young age, you could do the math, depending on some of them, that is far-fetched to find some of them that doesn't have over 10 bodies in their lifetime. I mean, over 10. I could be wrong. But like I said, under 10 is a good ratio for how many bodies a woman should have. Now, we all know, like I said, it's not going to be possible or doable, but there might be some out there that's not that putting themselves out there, depending on how they look or how they carry themselves. And that varies from state to state. But we all know that, for her to have only 30 bodies, most men will look at that, right? That's being productive or non-productive. They'll look at that as a lot. Now, will that stop them to really be body number 31, 32? No, because men, like always, we love to fuck. If a woman fuck, like, we just gonna want to see what that mouth do, man. It is what it is. But anyway, let's continue on. Fair use.
30.
30.
On the dot.
On the dot. I know first and last names, zodiacs. Like, I have no secrets.
And make sure you hit the like button too.
So I wish I could have done more dicks. I wish I would have been sluttier. And there are certain guys I wish I would have had sex with. Right. There are a lot of guys that are, I look back and I don't know why I didn't. I was just righteous, I guess. But to get back to your question,
Whoa. Oh my. You hear that? She says she wished she could have gotten more dicks and explored more many men. I tell you, brothers, when women are exploring their sexual fantasies, and we could probably blame the sexual revolution possibly because of this, that women want to engage in sexual activities like a man and want to have many bodies. And we all know for women, it's easier to have more bodies on them than a man. And I will tell a short little story. I remember, if y'all remember this same little story I talked about on my channel, one young woman, or she's not young, but she's up there in age. I told her, say, if I put you in a room with a man, and both of you are in the contest, and we want to see how many bodies you could pile up, sexual partners, in one day, 24 hours in a day. And I asked her, who would win this battle? And come to find out, you know what her answer she told me? She said, who would win? She said a man will win a battle than a woman. And I had to really look at her dead in her eye. Well, I didn't look at her dead in her eye, but I talked to her personally. And I say, are you sure about the answer? And she said, yeah. And I say, how is that possible? She think that a woman's going to sit there and just pull her panties and give the booty to any man. No, 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 no. That's not how shit works. That's not how it works. It's more tricky for a man, depending if he looks attractive or not, to have many bodies on him in one day than a woman. And she never could conceptualize why I said a woman will win than a man. Because you do have the control the axis of sex. So anytime you just around the street and you say, and you tell man, you look cute, you want to F? Depending who you are or how you look, and you don't have to look super fine, but if you look average and good enough, a man will be down to give you the dick. Well, no ifs, ands, or buts, because most men on the average are not getting dicks like that. I mean, they're not getting pussy like that on the average. A man has to do and work hard, depending on his environment, to get more bodies of women than a woman. It is what it is. There's no ifs, ands, buts on that. And I have to really sit there and have to bring the logic and reason to it. But she could never see it like that because she feel in her mind, I would never do that. I said, you might not be able to do that, but if you really set your mind and you said if money was on the line, I guarantee you will win before this dude. Hands down. Facts. 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 So that's something I want y'all to, ponder on. Let's continue on to this audio and fair use.
There's nobody that I named in the book, but it's truly the state of the culture that I didn't
name people at all.
No, so I put a bunch of fake names, and all of the names spelled out the one thing they had in common, and it was selfish. I never name dropped anybody because you know why? I didn't have to. That's where we are in media today, is that you can throw allegedly in front of something and you can get away with, pretty much kind of telling the truth. So I knew that if I had gave just enough clues in the chapter description and just whatever I was telling in that story, I knew that people were going to run with it and assume. There hasn't been one list of names in my book that is correct. There are some that I'm like, okay. But you guys, there's never been just like a list of names that are absolutely accurate. But it's just that I just
you wrote about 7, so no one's ever gotten the 7 dudes.
No, not all 7 correct. No,
they got the 2 that matters.
I don't know who that would be, but the reality is it wasn't about my sexapades. I've had way more interesting stories than what I wrote about. Those 7 people were very pivotal moments in my life. And that's my truth. I'm entitled to tell my story. Now, if that includes you, then it includes you. But there was I've never posted screenshots. I've never been boo-hooing on Instagram Live. I've never outed anybody. There's been no man that's ever spoke about me publicly. Why? I'm such a terrible person. I'm such a big bad whore. Well, then how come people aren't airing me out? It's just a bunch of...
Well, my answer to you, Miss Renner, why did I air out? Because most gentlemen does not kiss and tell. That's what it is. Why would a man sit there saying brag about I hit that, I hit that? That's community pussy. They're not gonna do that. It doesn't serve no benefit a man sit there tell the whole community or the whole entertainment world that I fucked this woman, that woman. No, it's waste time. They just do it and hope that you shut the fuck up and you won't write a book or spill the tea that you had me in bed. That's another form of gossip, which most men nowadays don't do. Last my check, but it is what it is. Yeah. See, he agrees with me. Yeah. See, told you. Anyway, let's continue on. Fair use.
Strangers who want to know what my pussy's like, just doing all this. Because you're going to have to do me something. Because y'all just talking. I don't care. These people in real life know me. Like, I know the truth. And any man that I've been involved with, you know what it is. There are 2 sides to every story, and then there are screenshots. I don't play that shit. Honestly, the one thing that I was really excited to sit down and talk with you about is, like, yeah, like I am different in person. Like I am genuine. I guess I'm naive because I believe in love. I do believe in true love. And I believe in true love because I exist. And so, yes, every man that I've met, I am guilty of wanting a relationship with him. Sue me. Like, oh my God, I'm such a whore. And yeah, like, that's really, I've always wanted a family. I've always wanted a husband. That's something for a long time I couldn't.
All these 30 niggas, you don't have any, or a group of them, you're like, hey, listen, I just wanted to fuck them for the fucking, just the joy of fucking, or just to say I did it. Bucket list shit.
I mean, every single guy that I've had sex with, I was hoping it could be more. And that's maybe where I'm just naive. I'm a Pisces. I'm a hopeless romantic. But I truly wanted a relationship. Like, why would I give my body to someone if, like, what? That's the thing with young guys. It's like, they want to just hit it and quit it. A lot of guys who believe in foundation and stability, it's like, you beat it to keep it. So in my mind, I've always been like, why would I want to give you my body and then see you later, never talk to you again? Like, why would I want that?
There's ways to do it, though.
Yeah, that's BS. Yep. And the reason why it's BS, and I agree with you, Copper, is because if that was your intention, you want love, if there's such a thing, right? Yes. Then obviously to do that, you decide to have the baby, you will just end it there. Because it takes a lot for a woman to sit there and give her body to multiple men, but no procreation activity came out of that until this one dude named PJ Washington. And let's think and wonder, say, you are a certain age now, and you've been messing around with 30 men across 29 years of life. You're not even 30 years old yet, and you already past the amount of bodies of your almost your age. It's astonishing to me, you know. One thing to know is that she's a super freak. I'll tell you that much. You know, if you look at early on the audio portion of it, she says she likes to be choked. She likes all that BDSM stuff when she's about to come. So it tells me you're not just a regular woman that just has sex. You want that serious 50 Shades of Grey type of sex. She a real super freak. But that's what happens when you mess with the red chicks, you know? The red bone chicks, they're more freaky than regular sisters, you know what I'm saying? They got that extra real good wop. You feel me? Yes. Oh, it's my rope right here. All this love talk makes her dangerously distinguishing. Indeed, Graves. Indeed. She's one of the women that you know, as a man, especially a black man's fantasy, to really try to conquer and fuck the shit out, you know, and make him mine. But you all know that you cannot tame this type of wild type of breed of woman. She's one of the women that she's very uncontrollable. She'll sit there. She might just cuss you out, but when she's horny, she'll be ready to get on her knees and suck the fuck out your dick if given the right opportunity. But let's continue on. I could keep on her.
You giving up on the first night? Be honest. Some of the, like, for the excerpts I've read, you fucking early, like super early.
So
and that is, by the way, you know, I've always said some of the best relationships come from fucking the first day, but you're gonna get some of the biggest disappointments too.
No, I do agree with that. That of course, if you give yourself that early, you're kind of opening it up to whatever. But I also feel like, so if I make you wait 90 days, you're gonna respect me more. So right now, if me and you are going on a date, and I make you wait 90 days, you're going to be like, she's so different. Oh my God, I just have to wife her. You're going to be like, bitch, you play too much. And if you want to fuck me, like if I wanted to fuck you, I wouldn't be living in my truth if I made you wait 90 days. How is that respectable?
Well,
you going to respect me because of that?
No, I won't. So from the
there we go.
From the male's perspective, like we just want it instantly from the female perspective, and that's why people always look at females differently. Is that you know the intention of a man, but if your intention is to have a relationship, you know that you probably have to see other things other than the basic things that you would need to have sex. For example, I'm guessing maybe it's just attractiveness or, you know, some type of, you know, short chemistry in terms of like you guys being able to talk. That's not enough to tell you that someone will want to be in a relationship with you. That might be enough to tell you that someone would fuck you. So if you are the relationship type and you're talking about you're looking for love, you're looking for all these things, you're not just going to be like, hey, listen, I'm just going to link with you and just be like, have it all, right? So when it comes to waiting, it's not necessarily about waiting. It's more about analyzing the person. That might involve waiting, might not.
Right.
You might get that connection with a person, be like, hey, I know this person is going to fuck with me after this, and we just have to get inside the way.
I understand that perspective, but in the same breath, I also feel like men have to have sex, and then that's when they explore the bond. They don't explore the bond before sex. And now I'm not saying that's concrete. How I
Which
feel.
men?
I'm saying
because
I feel
another
like
thing I think about you is that I think you're targeted. If you meet a guy in the entertainment industry,
okay,
you meet a rapper, you meet.
Now, mind you, I give her credit that she's not gonna make you wait 90 days. You know, funny thing with this 90-day rule that Steve Harvey created is real bullshit. When a woman is into you, fellas, and likes you, no matter how much you spend, money or whatever, she will pull down them drawers that first night. Because always when they're sexually attracted to, they know will at least in the first few seconds if they're gonna fuck you or not. It don't take much contemplate, really rational thinking. If they like it, they like you, they're gonna fuck you. It is what it is. And I respect in her truth, wherever that is, that she will have sex who right there. She's not gonna make you wait weeks on weeks, make you spend your fucking money. And eventually after she said, well, I don't think it's gonna work out, and make you waste your time, she's gonna give you the pussy. And a lot of dudes like DJ Academic said that, you know, some dudes will find it weird. I said, well, if you find it weird, it makes you wonder and think hard, say, are you in it to look for a relationship or are you in it for just to get the pussy? Because most dudes, if they wanted a relationship, like she said, she knows the psychology of men. And this is where a lot of you ladies miss out and lose out. You got to understand and respect the psychology of men. Yes, men do want sex. They want to fuck you, yes. But it's how you go and fuck them is always a determining factor. And that's why she, like she said earlier, that you can't turn her hoe to housewife. She said good because she's both. And really, we all know you can't do both on the average. But like I said, I digress. Fair use.
Someone with a lot of money, you meet someone who is popular that meets a lot of women. We don't have the luxury of that. I always tell people who
specify luxury of what?
The luxury of, hey, investing a ton of time to figure out shit. We usually have to figure out the main things quickly. Okay, cool. Are you sexually compatible? Huge thing in any relationship.
But that's what I just said.
No.
Having sex and then exploring the bond.
But
if I don't give you any pussy, you're gonna be like, girl, bye.
But hear what I'm saying.
Okay.
If you are trying to fuck with someone who's working, I don't know, a 9 to 5, like in a fucking office, they're making $85K. Like for them, it might be about the bond before sex. Like when it comes to entertainers, you know how entertainers are gonna give it up, but we're never in the same place. Frequently there's not much time, there's a lot of moving parts, so that becomes, hey, this has to happen quickly. If you're dating someone who has a very stable, very, you know, menial type of life, and this is where I get to women like you don't want that nigga who's just working, getting 85K, and you know what I mean, he'll take you out on a bunch of dates and he'll wait a month. You want the entertainer, and the entertainer is not going to wait for what?
Okay.
I'm asking you, would you Are you attracted to the regular person, or do you like people who are in this business of entertainment? Be honest.
I mean, I think realistically, first of all, I'm not gonna like limit my options just because somebody works. And first of all, $85,000 is a lot of money. Like, let's be really clear. That's a great job.
So I threw it out.
Actually, 85 can be somewhat a lot of money, depending on the taxes, which we all don't equate the taxes. If you're not making 100K, you're going possibly not gonna bring in 80K a year. It is what it is. But we don't really put it on the taxes part of things. So, like I said, if a man makes 80K so-called year, either he's pulling in 100K or he's actually making 60K. But you gotta do the math to really calculate that part. But I'm not sure she will, like I said, entertain do that makes that amount of money because she's in a different field. You gotta understand, people. The music and entertainment field is a billion-dollar industries. Why would you as a woman, and we have to look at the logic here, that's probably have like a couple million followers and you're making money through the advertisement through IG, that part of social media, why would you want to go back to some dude that's working an average career job that makes that amount of money? To me, it doesn't make sense to me. It seems like you're going backwards, in my opinion. I'm not saying man that makes 80K can't bag a IG model like her. But like I said, if most women, quote unquote, they say they're hypergamous, which in this Western world, you can't be hypergamy because, let's be honest, this environment doesn't hold and support hypergamy on the average. And I said it personally. It only works when you work when you live in a third world nation where there's abundance of men that make a whole lot, and you're just a little pot of woman to really deal with hypergamy. But if there's more of you than men, it doesn't work the same way. I'm the same, but that's my take. Let's continue on. Fair use.
But I feel like with what comes with me, it would have to be someone who's maybe just more versed in this lifestyle, not because of finances, but more so like mentality. So I don't know. I just kind of feel like at this point, if I'm being 100% transparent, I don't know who is going to have the courage to be with someone like me. I don't know.
Okay. So let's bring it back.
I don't know.
So before I knew who Brittney Renner was, how did you get to link up with all these entertainers? Because you had, at that point, you should have been at the point to say, hey, well, this guy, you say you had 30 people who just, for the most part, right? You're like, hey, listen.
Bodies.
But you said all the bodies were people who you wanted to take serious, who did. You could have been like, hey, I'm going after entertainers. I'm going after people who are in the industry that seem to not want to take people serious. How about I go after the guy who's a banker? Why didn't you not do that initially?
I did. There was a time I even dated a lawyer. It just didn't work out because he wanted other women. He wanted freedom. That's a more regular type of guy. He didn't want the same things I wanted, and that's okay. It doesn't mean like, oh, he missed out. I'm so much better. Like, you just weren't my guy, and that's okay. So yeah, I've talked to regular guys. Like, I mean, what am I saying? I'm a regular person too, So it just didn't work out. If that's not my person, that's not my person. I don't know who my person is at this point.
Stop.
So, what you have not noticed that she said it didn't work out because the man was, I guess, cheating. But women must understand that comes with a territory on the average. Well, most men that make more and has options because he makes more by bank statement, by finance income, that he's going to have more of an option of pull women. And because you possibly might have made more than him, maybe, because I'm not sure where her net worth is. If anybody in the chat room could tell me what the net worth of Brittney Renner is, that is a necessity that a lot of women don't want certain men to be competing and make a certain amount of money in regards to them, because that tells her that she's gonna have to really compete to keep that man's attention, which I agree on. Now, I'm not saying man should go out there and just sling dick on every woman he sees. No, that's not a good and wise move in the long run, because not only the repercussion of maybe possibly the STDs, possibly, but also babies, maybe that might play an equation. But a lot of women, if you mess with, especially mess with the wrong one, they will make your life a living hell if you're not careful. And I think with her, in her mind, she wants a loyal alpha male that only focus on her and her alone. I mean, if you making that money and you're a lawyer, you make good money, you better not go out here and sleep with other, or what Blaze want to call bitches. I better not find out that you having affairs with other bitches, because you're mine. You're my only one man. So they say. But there's something floating around that a lot of women say that they could go around and cheat behind your back and you must stay loyal to them, but that's not going to work, But anyway, let's keep going on. Graves.
Trying to spend me. How the fuck you get to be linking up with rappers and entertainers? Listen, you grew up, and unless I don't know something, around regular motherfuckers. Why did you feel like, yo, I got to start linking up with rappers and entertainers?
I never felt that way. I never felt like, oh, I have to. Respectfully, I'm a big fish. What are we talking about? Like, I'm a shark in the middle of the ocean. What do you think I'm going to attract? Heavy hitters as well.
First time you ever linked up with who? You don't have to tell me who. First time you ever linked up with someone who is popular, clearly not around from your region, from your city, whatever the fuck.
Okay.
Why, as opposed to the guy who probably, has a dope ass job in that city that you probably see all the time? Why did you respond to that DM, or I don't know, however you met that person?
I had a very regular boyfriend, like back in 2014, white guy, and there
white
were
dudes?
No, that was like my first. No. Ever since
we figured it out. You cracked the matrix.
No,
cracked the matrix.
No, that's not even my type. Stop it. But that
You're
was
biracial, right?
I am biracial. I'm black and white. But that
Mom
was
white, black, dad
Mama
black.
white, daddy black. So that super bright. So listen, that was what I went through. I'm not gonna say never, but it's a very small chance that I would ever be with a white man again. But
why? We want to know, because honestly,
I just feel like they just don't get it.
Yo.
Now, what the fuck she means that they don't get it? You see, I want her to unpack that shit. What do you mean they don't get it? They don't get that you are partially black and they look at you as a nigga? That we mean you don't get it? I mean, you're going to have to explain. See, one thing, fellas, be very careful with these mulattoes. And I'll be honest with you, they should be fucking not only black, but also white, because they are partially half white side of their family. Just like she has partially half black side of family. So why not? She's going to be dabbling. And I'm not sure why people call that interracialism, because she's a byproduct of interracialism. So when a dude gets all in his feelings, like DJ Academic, someone said, oh, you screw white men? Are you surprised, nigga? I mean, duh. And I'll be honest with you. Most mulattoes have an easier chance. If you're a woman and you're a mulatto half-breed, you have an easier shot in relationships and having sex in relationship with a white man much faster than a fully black chick. I'm just saying. Because you look more partial, and depending on how you're mixed, per se, you just might be able to be that safe person they could copulate. If you know what I mean. So let's continue on. Fair use.
Niggas is on fire right now. So like, trust me, we are celebrating. We're just wondering, you know why all these like people are like fucking with Trump and this and third? They're realizing that, to be honest, they're about to be breeded out of here. Real talk. This is literally Darwin's theory just of like fucking evolution, or like just survival. More and more women whether they're even white, biracial like yourself, black women definitely, Hispanics, Asians, they look at white dudes like, ew. You said you dated one, you're half and half, and you're like, I don't think I'll fuck with them again. Why?
I just feel like they don't get it. And as dating one,
Get what? Like, you gotta explain.
they don't get it.
Get
They
what?
don't get it. Their reality is so much different than a black male's, from a biracial person, whatever. They just don't get it. Like, there's a privilege we have to acknowledge, and that's kind of it. Like, the person that I was with, I just feel like their comments with their family and just the way that they view the world was very different than what I did. Now, that's not to say a white man couldn't come up in here and sweep me off my feet. I'm not even saying that's impossible.
Jack Harlow could fuck you. That's a fact. If you see Jack Harlow roll
I'm not
out,
gonna lie, he's kind of smooth though.
you fuck that nigga. I know you would.
Yeah, but yeah.
What does it take for you to fuck somebody? Because now I know you're nice. What does it take? We about to give the niggas a blueprint right now.
I mean, I really have to just want to fuck you. It's not about
Physically. So
no, I really don't have a type. I mean, now let's be clear. I don't really have a type. I just
that's cap. You date the fuck. You have a baby with a basketball player. That's your fucking type.
I love somebody who's 6'8". You know what I'm saying? Like,
he's 6'8".
Yeah, he is. Fuck. He's 6'8". But
I'm like 5'9".
Are you?
Yeah.
You're taller than that.
Now, DJ Academic is the average height of a Western man in the world. That's the average height for men in the world. 5'9". I'm roughly taller than that. But like I said, if the average is 5'9", it's not that tall. But I always wonder why most women, they get fat when they see a man that's extra, because in their mind they think it's extra protection. That's not really true. I mean, shit, I see some dudes that's tall that don't know how to fight for shit. So we'll tell you that a man's tall that makes him more protected and he might be able to do things. That's a lie. Let's get real. It's a lie. You see tall people get knocked up by regular sized dudes some days. So, but like I said, you know, and you know what's funny? Well, height, and I'm not sure how tall Brittney Renner is. If anybody know how tall she is, please leave it in the chat room or comment section. That yeah, she was messing with a real power forward in the PJ Washington. But like I said, I digress. Fair use.
All right, man, let's go with that.
Who's taller than that person? But no, of course there's maybe a more ideal physique. But to be honest, I've kind of dabbled in a little bit of everything. A little gut.
You fucked Uzi's 5'4".
Who said that?
Bro, you could have been that. Like, he don't even care. Yeah, like, he's with, what's her name? JT? Yeah, he don't give a fuck.
But I feel like that's.
You like short dudes?
I don't discriminate.
You like fat dudes?
I don't discriminate.
You like ugly dudes?
To me, it's not. I feel like beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So to me, no, you're seriously rolling your eyes.
This is what a finesser says.
No, it's not. No,
when she's about the bag. Beauty is
about the bag.
Beauty is in the eye of the bag.
Hold on. Actually, no. I'm not gonna let you say that about me. I'm not gonna let you say that I'm about a bag because I've been on. No, it's not about clout either.
It's just
because, stop. Because I let you talk, you let me talk. So at the end of the day, when it comes to clout, if it came to clout, then why would I have a child with somebody that not too many people know like that in the basketball world? Why wouldn't I go out of?
I'll Google his salary. He's making like a couple million.
No, I loved him. It's just that simple.
I'll answer that because you can't get no better. Now, mind you, the biggest question a person asks is, why the fuck are you dating somebody that's younger than you? And fellas, I want you to vouch for me for this. Have you noticed there's a certain growing trend of older fucking wall bitches dating younger men? Have y'all noticed this shit? Or it's just me? I heard one of them, a singer or a rapper, is about to get married to a dude that's like 15 years younger than her. You remember the movie Stella Got Her Groove Back? from my previous broadcast of Jay Pickens, Smith, and the Gynocracy, I have laid out that they are promoting older women that's pretty much hit the wall or crashed the wall, pair bonding with younger men. And with the younger men, it makes it easy for them to really, I guess, feel that they accomplished something. But we all know they didn't accomplish shit because it shows to any men of any group that you have wasted your precious 20s and we could say early 30s on nothing. And it shows you do not want to compete at all to get the man that you really do need. So that destroys the myth right there. Let's keep going. Fair use.
Well, like, that's who I thought I was going to spend my life with.
But you wouldn't love somebody that's making 60 or 80 grand. You know it. Like you just said about your little white,
because you know what? Like I said, yes, I want true love, but I'm not going to let you sit here and try to make it seem like I'm about a bag, because I've been on Instagram since 2012. I've been an independent bad bitch for almost a decade now. Okay. So when it comes to, that's why I waited. I mean, I was 29. I had my first kid. That's no fluke. I have been on birth control for 8 years. No, it was not. I will not. That's what we're not going to do. No, that's what we're not going to do. You're not going to call my son a cash out.
No, not your son, but like that relationship.
No, it wasn't. Stop.
Brittney.
Let me finish talking. Because like I said, I let you have the floor. You let me have. It's not a monologue. Okay?
I love this. Go ahead.
Like, yes, if you guys want to call me naive for thinking a 23-year-old basketball player was going to be faithful to me, then guess what? I'm naive. I thought that's where it was going to end. I thought I could hang my jersey up. There was even times in that relationship I wanted to deactivate my Instagram because that's just how devoted I am as a woman. So you're not going to sit up here and call my son, it's making me emotional. No, you're not going to call my son a paycheck. You're not going to say that relationship was for that. No, because at the end of the day,
I'm talking about your relationship with him.
My child's father.
Why did you settle down with him as opposed to the other 29 guys? Come on now.
I felt honestly, I felt like
he was in over his head with you.
And you know what? If he feels like that now, that's what he's entitled to. But I genuinely thought in my heart that he saw me for me, horns and all. Like I really thought, like he was like, you know what? I accept you as you are. I do not judge you. I'm here to stand by you. And you know what? I was wrong. I was wrong about it, and that's okay.
I saw you posting pictures, and I saw like you took a change in person. Everything you're saying now may have matched what you represented before you met him. When you were with him, and for everything we saw visually, it was like, hey, listen, I have now turned into a woman who is now fit to be a queen and fit to be someone's wife. You are not doing all the shit you're doing now. So let's not act like you ain't switched up at all.
No,
so you made a cognizant decision then. And what I'm saying is that when you talk about all the guys you've been with and you said, oh, they, you wanted more with them, you didn't do it for them. Did you?
I didn't do it for them.
Have you noticed that, just for a quick pause. Oh, and for those that's listening in or first time to the stream, thank you. Welcome. Make sure you hit the red button, the top notification bell, when you know there's an upload or live streams here on the Cast Rain channel. Also follow me on Twitter at CastRain7 and add me a friend on Facebook, Eric Rain on Facebook. Now, as you hear what you heard from her fucking mouth, Thomas said she don't view her son as a paycheck. I don't know if anybody believes that or not, but if your son was more than just a check, and we're going to say we'll accept that, then obviously why you don't require anything from this young male that you are having sex with to have his baby. You see, what has been going on, fellas, for the last decade or as long as we can remember, that the majority of the average black woman, mix or whatever, does not view or want marriage on the average. They just want the baby and keep it pushing because they've been conditioned in this Western society that a family composed of only two items, mother and child. Need I say more? Need I say more? Let's continue.
Because they didn't want it with me. And you know what? I'm so happy you brought up the switch up because you're right. I switched up on so many friends, my business, myself, because you know why? I was so ashamed of everything I've ever done. Like I've been living in shame up until I really recently left that relationship. So I was trying to fit what I thought a mother and a wife would be.
Why shame? Shame that he brought onto you, or
no, my own shame. You have to understand, every person in your life is merely a mirror. So for me to live in shame and to feel like I had to change, that was my own stuff. That's not his stuff. That was my shit that I came into this relationship with. I feel like, oh, a mother is someone conservative that suck a dick and shut up. Like, that's what a mother is. A wife is someone who plays in the background, that's not too pretty, doesn't wear makeup, doesn't wear certain outfits to basketball games. Like, that's what I thought. And that's the honest to God truth. So I felt like if I wanted to be someone's wife, I would have to tone it down. And it's so funny because when I had told my child's father how I was feeling, he was like, if you ever had to change who you are to be someone's wife, would it even be worth being someone's wife? And at that moment, that's what started my thinking that, what am I doing? Why am I changing who I am?
Can I say something?
You can.
So that's a great sequence of events. And also, like, I think I understand it all. But I could tell you why you might want to change, right? A lot of times women might act like, I know a lot of women who they act like they don't give a fuck about dudes, this and third, and they're just having their fun. But in reality, it's usually because of hurt. And this is where I come back with you. So I'm like, if you say you felt that shame, like maybe you wanted to really just have a family. And you're like, hey, listen, what I was projecting before was not necessarily who I am. And now I feel like I have a legit chance of it, of getting that fuck that shit. And now I do feel ashamed of it. So I'm going to try my best to rid myself of that image. Right. So that's what I thought. And, like going into that relationship, I'm like, damn, she kind of switched up. Right. And also I thought he was brave in terms of accepting you despite what your past or what people might have saw about you were. But then afterwards, and again, however it ended, and if you want to choose to, tell what happened, so you, it felt like this is where everyone felt duped. Because it felt like you reverted to the person you were before you met the nigga. And you were basically was like, hey, yeah, I'm the same person as I was before I met him. And yeah, that's his fault or that's whatever. Like, I'm me and this is me, not the person who was with him.
Okay. Well.
Boom. I hope that was clear for y'all, that y'all heard that, right? It's funny. Now that we listened to this for the second time, I've heard the one with the other stream she was on, the other brother's channel. There's really no comparison that DJ Akem really applied a pressure on her. And not saying that Chaos didn't do a good job interviewing her, but I know he's going to take the more subtle approach to reveal her true nature that everybody already know already. And most men that, let's just say it, more experienced with women, they know the game, right? They already spot her out. It is what it is. Let's continue on.
I will say that he's a good person, but in my personal experience, he has not been a good partner, which is why we decided to part ways. And when I made the video about stepdaddy season and trusting his judgment and moving on, I genuinely felt that way. That's the reality of our situation is if we're not going to be together, we are going to be apart. We're going to co-parent. We're going to date other people. I want him to be happy. So that's okay that it didn't work out with him because he was a huge teacher in my life. Now, I will say to your asking why I flip-flopped, I feel like I have a lot of contradicting qualities that I can be loyal. I'm so devoted, it's disgusting. I actually sometimes hate it about myself, but I'm also a slut with who I'm with. So it's like, yes, there are things about my personality, about my character that contradict one another, but what it comes down to is I thought I had to change to be loved. I really thought that. I thought that, oh, well.
Did he tell you that? Or did
no,
you feel
it was, I felt that. I felt like, and when I was wilding and doing all that stuff, like, I'm naturally wild at heart from when I was in high school to now. Like, I am just different. That's just how I am. And I have judged it because I felt like I should fit a box. Like I should be calm or I should be completely wild. Like, and if I'm wild, that means I don't give a fuck. But if I'm calm, I'm conservative. And it's like there's just so many things that I put.
What does wild mean to you?
Really, honestly, when I think about what wild means, it's just being myself. Like, yeah, like I live in the moment. I'm now to now. And I genuinely just felt like what a mother should be, what a wife should be, was just my own judgments. Like, you can't be loyal and a slut. Like, you can't be both. Like, if you're in the bedroom, you're very conservative. You're not really just going to town on that dick. You're none of that. Like, it's one or the other. And I realized there's a gray. Like, you can be both. And that's where I accept whatever comes with that, because I did try to change for a man. I did try to portray to the world that, oh, I'm not like this, but I'm really that. But I never, like, it's crazy that people say, like, oh, you finessed him, you did all this stuff. It's like, no, like, I genuinely loved him and believed in him.
Well, hold on. Because I just want to understand this.
Okay.
So, genuinely at heart, what makes you feel like you're being yourself, and what would make you not necessarily happy, but makes you not feel like you're portraying something, is not necessarily everything you were doing while you were with him to try to keep that perfect imagery. It's what you are now.
Yeah, I would want, like, moving forward now, whoever my future husband might be, I want a man who we could go out to the club together and, like, I'm standing on the table shaking ass and you're just, hey.
But shaking ass for him.
No, just shaking ass. Like, you are secure enough in our relationship.
Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that? She was dead serious. She wanted to make sure she got a nice, loyal alpha male so she could sit there and still engage in her wildlife. You know what I mean? A wildlife mean she belongs to the streets type of fashion. And still have a nice, loyal man that will pay the bills and do his part for her. See, gentlemen, you always got to be careful about this type of female right here. This type of lit bitch right here. And trust me, there is a term that we hear these women now proclaiming that they're alpha women now. And we all know there cannot be two alphas in the same room. So in her logical thinking, in her emotional thinking, or what you want to call it, she wants to still do what the fuck she wants while still in a relationship or a marriage with a man. And it just does not work like that. You can't be on the table shake your ass, not for him, but say you shake it for everybody to see, and every other dude will sit there holler and do all that stuff. She wants that attention. She needs that attention. And that's the mate that she's looking for. A loyal, obedient dog to control. Unfortunately. Let's continue on.
To know that anything I do here it doesn't translate. There's no correlation. Me standing on a table shaking ass, what does that mean? That doesn't mean I love you. That doesn't mean I'm loyal to you. Why can't I show whatever my full expression is and still be loyal to you? And so that's where I feel like the man that I need is a unicorn.
No, stop it. Stop it. Yo, this sounds good, don't it?
What in the hell is a unicorn? I never heard of finding a male to be a unicorn. This is some new stuff. You know, it's interesting. Listen to this. I learned some new shit. So you look for a male, that's a unicorn. Number one, that don't exist. And number two, you just want to do what the hell you want. Let's keep it 100. But let's be honest. Most men that's on their purpose and they're making money for themselves and doing good, they look at Brittney Renner as just a quick, easy fuck. Are they gonna spend money before they get access to the pussy? Possibly, and it depends on you as a mate. If you're not that man that doesn't look attractive enough, and you got money, yeah, you're gonna be spending some money. You damn sure gonna have to pay out your pocket, and maybe she will possibly suck your dick. Because remember, we live in a Me Too era culture right now. You can't just throw money at her and hope that you're gonna expect sex at the end game of it. That doesn't work, fellas. It doesn't work like that. But let me see how long this thing is. I'm gonna play a little bit more. I might drop the link.
I'm gonna tell you
the
why.
truth always sounds good because it's the truth.
No, stop. Because you also talked about, and again, I'm down to get this personally. You're down to get it, and if you don't want to,
Bring it up. Let's go.
we could just be ambiguous about it. Ambiguous section. You mentioned his quote unquote issues. If he's doing things that could entice women in the same realm that you're doing it, I guarantee you're not cool with it. Are you?
I have always been cool with him being himself, whether that's having female friends, going out to the club. I've always been very comfortable in my own skin to be like, what he does, you want to go, you want to have fun, you want to
So you're cool with him entertaining women, but you also mentioned...
I never said entertaining women. What, me dancing on a table at club has nothing to do with me entertaining men. I'm doing what I naturally want to do, whether it was a gay club with just women or there's both. Like, why are we judging so harshly me sitting on the table? Why does that correlate into my relationship and what's going on?
Well, it does correlate. I'm gonna tell you why.
Okay, I'm listening.
You're writing a book. I feel like that's you entertaining the thoughts and the desires, or even the people thinking about what goes on in your sexual life. You're entertaining people. Like you might just think, oh, I'm just putting this out in the atmosphere. If he put out all his sexual escapades, or if he was actively entertaining women, you would feel a certain type of way. But because you've done it, and maybe you think it's in a way that there's some sort of distance, or it's talking about your past, you're like, it's fine. But if he's out with a bunch of hoes, right? Maybe he's not fucking any of them. But the mere fact that he's out with them and entertaining them, you're going to feel a certain type of way, aren't you?
Well, we're talking about two different things. If he were to write a book, that's his truth. So if I can't listen,
so it's only acceptable when he does what you did.
That's not what. No, you're literally trying to put words in my mouth, and I'm sitting here in front of you and explaining to you. If I wasn't okay with his truth, I wouldn't sign up to be with him, because love should never feel like a prison. It should be freedom. It shouldn't be, you can't do this, you can't talk to this person. There are things that I caught him up doing that I'm like, if this is someone that you would like to communicate with, just communicate to me and let me know. Like, I understand that you have female friends or whatever the case may be. I understand that, but I don't like liars. So let me know what I'm signing up for. The truth is the best game. So you're saying, again, you're talking about entertaining women versus dancing on a table at a club, not shaking ass in front of anybody. I want the man who's just going to say, I'm going to let her be who she is, and we're going home together.
Does your history matter? You've written books about fucking all type of niggas who basically, whether they're basketball players or they're just other entertainers, these things are preceding him. He's seeing that he might feel like, hey, could you be a little bit more conservative while you're with me just because of your past? And if he's supposed to accept your past, you could still flaunt your past because it's not current. You understand what I mean?
My thing is if you're judging me based on my past, can I judge you then? Because let's be really fucking clear. Let's be clear though.
Is it public?
The only difference between my past and your past is that mine's on the front line, and people don't know what you do behind closed doors. No, but at the end of the day, if you're running trains on bitches, if you're fucking the scum of the earth, the only reason that you get a pass is because people don't know about it. I'm just real enough to say this is my shit. This is who I am, and I'm gonna stand in your chest with it. That's the only difference between me and you. I know you fuck more than 30 bitches.
But he not embarrassing you. You're embarrassing.
But my past, I'm not embarrassing him. Because if my past is embarrassing to you, then you got the wrong bitch. Then go be with somebody else whose past is less embarrassing.
Hold on. Not necessarily that if you're rehashing it or you want to indulge in behavior.
That book was before he was even thought of.
Okay.
Because a lot of people say, oh, she was at
But
his
if
height.
you want to continue the same behavior,
it's not about continuing the same behavior. It's the fact of this is my truth. This is what it is. And before we even made it official, I literally named off every person I'd been with. You let me know if you could sign up for it. So nobody can sit up in here and say he didn't know what it was. I literally told him name for name. If you can't handle this, somebody else will. Because I'm not going to be ashamed of what I've done. Let me finish. I'm not going to be captive to decisions I've made before I met you. Because you know what? Every single decision has led me to you. So if you would like to judge me, knowing that you ran trains on bitches, you did this, you fucked way more bitches than me, and you're way younger, if you want to judge me on that, then you missed out on a good person. I don't know what to tell you. Okay. And that's for every man watching this too. A lot of guys, y'all are so quick to judge what women do. When y'all do the same thing, if not worse, and you don't think about it, putting the shoe on the other foot.
Well, to answer your question, Miss Renner, you cannot do what a man does. A man doesn't really catch too much feelings on some women that he wants to engage in a fun time in the bedroom. He will sit there, give the woman a dick, get up out of the bed, wash his dick, and keep pushing. So that's the same for you. You can't just sit there and just let men just bust nuts and you shoot the club. And the same thing. Every time you engage in sex, sweetie, and you know this firsthand because you got a yeast infection, and people didn't really believe me, go back to her IG. She revealed that she got a yeast infection, fucking 3 niggas. That there's consequence for you, woman, for doing what a man does and trying to conduct yourself in regards to having putting yourself out there, having as many sex partners like a man. It's a different way around. You get me? And I'll have to agree with academic. He did not really embarrass her per se. But let's say he does. All he has to do is say, apologize, say, impossible won't happen again, and keep pushing. I mean, let's be honest. When a woman knows that she is putting herself out there and having random dicks like that, it's always a red flag to the average Negro or any man in general, because he knows that you're going to always be entertained and exploring different options of putting yourself out there for another man. Because you cannot be loyal to one thing, because sex is a bonding act. And because how she goes and talks about the men she has sex, it proven to the average man or man that's above average that you don't have the capability to pair bond with one man. And let's say she even has a relationship. I guarantee most of the relationships she has is under a year. The way how she's moving from what I'm hearing throughout the whole interview. But that's just me. That's what I caught on most of the time of this interview. I'm gonna fast forward this a little bit.
Well, when you're single, you do single things.
Do you think? Okay, so and this is the first time ever. Like I've been off the drive. I gotta take a piss break real quick. But really, as a matter of fact, I'm gonna give you some time to think about it.
Yeah, the man shouldn't be drinking when he's doing this interview. That's a bad look, bro.
You can pause. Tell me when you're just start again.
I'm following your lead, the captain.
Record? Brittney, let me tell you this, man. This is why you're great. You know why you're great? Because I feel like you could catch unassuming people off guard. And I think that's a talent. I told everyone around me, I'm like, yo, going into trying to set this up with you and messaging you myself and getting those responses and like us even like we send voice notes back and forth. I was like, damn, this is not the person who I've heard about and seen online. It's now made me feel that she is a really nice person. But I do believe that, I'm not saying it's an act. I do think you're nice. But I do think you know probably how to manipulate. You got it. Got to. And there's something unassuming behind this nice little smile and also that look. It's the reason why, as much as, first of all, I don't necessarily look at you as a whore, to be honest. So, like,
thanks for that.
Seriously, most people do. You know that. I look at you as a manipulator.
I've been called worse by better.
Better. Hold on. No, but seriously, though, I look at you as a manipulator.
A manipulator, and why is that? What supporting evidence do you have that I'm a manipulator? Have I ever manipulated you?
No, you couldn't.
Okay, so I must not be that great of a manipulator then.
No, but I'm someone who's 30. But when you're linking up with people who are playing in football games with Jackson State, I don't even know what the fuck that is. When you're showing up there and someone's 18 and you're internet sex icon and you're Brittney Renner, who they've seen their favorite artist kind of like either talk about, maybe rap about, definitely has stories about, and now they have an opportunity to be with you, it's easy to manipulate that person. I do believe it's manipulation why you particularly go after younger men. That's not normal when it comes to women.
Okay, so
1 second, guys. Oh, to let everybody remind you, make sure you hit the notification bell. If you're not subscribed to the channel, hit the top bell. And also, you can share this as well and engage in the conversation. I know this is a long overdue conversation to this whole week of her attending these interviews, but we had to break down the ice a little bit and a lot of things, though. But one thing, in regards to a track queen like Brittney Renner, that she is of many out here. So a lot of you brothers that's not aware that this is the trend. This is the new norm. Just let y'all know. But let me keep playing on.
Do you know anything about Jackson State?
No.
Okay, so do you know anything about my history and why I'm tied? Why would I go to Jackson State? Do you know why?
I'm trying to figure out the player you're fucking. I'm trying to be honest.
Okay.
Who is it?
I'm not having sex with anyone that
Nobody.
Jackson, Mississippi. No, I'm not.
You're not scouting on.
So I had a full ride. I had a soccer scholarship. So before I didn't have any talent, I had a talent. I was an athlete. I was recruited as a center back. Yes, I was. I held shit down, as I'm doing now. When I was there, we won
center field?
Center back. So the defense. Push that! Yeah. So that was me. When I was there, we won a SWAC championship. When I was also there, I was freshman of the year and MVP of the SWAC. But again, that's useless information in really propelling this false narrative forward, because nobody cares that I have any tie to Jackson State. You guys just want to assume that I'm literally on campus having to look. It's comical to me because
play into it. Stop it.
No, it was homecoming week. There are people who are 60 years old that are at Jackson State.
Your
so what is that?
response to tweets basically talking about your like or love or lust for younger men.
That's not true.
When people put forward the narrative that, why is someone who is closer to 30 patrolling a college environment? And if it was a male, which I completely, I'm with. If it was a male, like we're completely villainized. Like we would be looked at as. You guys do it all the time, and so my child's father is 6 years younger than me. If he was 6 years older than me, no one would bat an eye. You're right. I wasn't patrolling Jackson State. At the end of the day, again, people are they're just not that bright. I really just beat you to the punchline. You guys were already saying hide your sons. But when I say it, I'm a predator. No, I'm just beating you to the joke. That's the only difference between you and I know what you're going to say about me.
Yeah, that was not smart, bitch. You should not be beating nobody a joke. If dude said hide your sons, they mean it. And not some of you go sit there and you play the same game and say hide your sons. That's not a good look, bitch. Oh, that's not a good look. Oh, no. And even if you were trolling, that's not smart. As already have a reputation that you already, you're moving away. That's hoish. But to do that shit, yeah. And one thing, it is normal for a man to be older than his counterpart. It is what it is. It's very abnormal when you were older woman and he's younger. It looks weird to a lot of people. Just keeping it real.
So you're not gonna beat me to it. So if you think I'm a villain, you think I'm all this, hide your motherfucking sons. Your son could be 50 years old, he could be 18 years old. Either way, if I want to fuck him and he wants to fuck me, he's getting fucked. So if you
Ooh, what she just said? Cheryl, wind that back. Hold on, let me see.
years old. Either way, if I want to fuck him and he wants to fuck me, he's getting fucked.
Woo! Yeah. Oh yeah. She said she's gonna be giving the dick. I mean, she's going to be laying out the pipe. She's gonna get fucked. That's a real super freak, I tell you. She's a woman that holds no bar. She tell you straight in your face, said, listen, you better hide your relatives, your uncles, your father, your son, whatever. I'm not only gonna fuck him, I'm gonna fuck him, because she just don't give a fuck. Now, most dudes, they find that as a problem, but some dudes that want to get in her pussy, they like that shit. And said, oh shit, it's a lit bitch. She just don't give a fuck. She'll give me the pussy regardless. All I do is put myself in the position to get access. This is a dangerous fucking woman, guys. I tell you about these red chicks. They're very dangerous. Very dangerous. I think most wars and most relationships were broken up by red chicks, by red bones. I think most governments could have been destroyed by red bones, if we want to go there. Hell, some people in businesses that lose millions of dollars lose it off over a red bone bitch, a lit bitch. That's what they will use, fellas. If anytime they want to infiltrate your structure, they'll present you with a red bitch. Most likely. They'll put her in front and let you self-destruct on your own. And I tell you, you got to have discipline. Not only discipline, but you must be disciplined in all areas. Because all it takes is one woman and she will fuck your life up and destroy everything that you built. Mark my word for that. Let's continue.
So what's the point of having an age of consent if with these age gaps, there's going to be judgment? If my husband is 10 years older than me, are y'all going to call him a predator? No. But if he's 10 years old.
But why I want to call him predator? Because as long as he's able to handle his business, he's good. I mean, what the fuck you mean? Let's keep going.
Younger than me, y'all going to call me a predator because it's so
Hell yeah, because you can't hold or keep a man of either your age or older. So obviously you're going to go younger because it's easy to manipulate younger dudes. Let me tell you something. And people don't understand this fact. The brain doesn't really stop development until you reach over 27 years of age. Not 25, not 25, not 25. It's 27 is the marker. That's when reality and the world, as what you see, perceive, starts to sit in to the average man and woman in society. When the brain reaches top peak of performance or top peak of development. Anything under 27, you are screwed out here. You better hide your fucking sons. Especially if your son's has something good going on, you better hide them. You better teach your boys. And I blame most mothers like this because they don't teach their sons the game. And the reason why, because of vicariously over this lit bitch, Brittney Renner. They want their son to get. Because they see their sons, like most men, as utility. Unfortunately. But it is what it is. Let's continue. Rayus.
Easy to villainize women, and that's okay.
Are you
Again,
attracted to younger guys?
I'm attracted to whoever I'm attracted to. If he's 18, if he's 52, what's up? What's up?
You've
What's
never
that?
been with a 52-year-old.
I have. I've
Really?
been with someone that's 50. Yes, I have.
Isn't Kevin Samuels 52 years old?
He's on your body count, so we go to
Yep,
the
it is on
list
my
of-
body count, and that's a body count I do not regret. It was a great time, and I'll do it again.
sugar baby type shit.
No,
Like,
I've
you
never
actually wanted to fuck.
I've never had a sugar daddy. And you know what? If I was really as much of a gold digger as people say I am, I would have cashed out a long time ago. I've never had a sugar daddy. I've never had anyone pay my rent. I've never had anything. I've got it out the mud myself. That's why I write books. That's why you see me post Fashion Nova, because at the end of the day, I want my own money. So you can't tell me to suck a dick and shut up. You can't tell me that.
Hold on. Let me ask you. So,
Start talking. I'm listening.
wait. How do you make money? Because I'm going to be honest with you, and you tried to shoot down earlier. I really do think that you did try to secure the bag.
No. At the end of the day, child support is, let me just say this here first. Child support is very different than alimony. Now, if you're trying to secure a bag, I feel like alimony, marriage, that's more the way to go.
So why the fuck you didn't do that then? You stupid lit bitch. I understand why most women today in the first world nation, where you rather settle for a fucking measly child support check, which on the average is only roughly almost $250 on the average a year, and it depends on the income of a man now, because if a man makes more money, obviously they're going to have to make adjustments. But overall, there's no real money in child support. A lot of women moving out and operating in this environment is moving backwards. They're moving backwards. If alimony pays out better than child support, wouldn't it make sense just to get married and stay in it for 10 or more years and eventually hold on. And eventually might cash out, allegedly, with no fault divorce or fault divorce. That would be the better way going about it. That way some men won't criticize. They'll still get married because you should not be divorcing for reconciled differences. But let's say if you did it the right way, we can't say nothing bad about it. At least you've gone about it the right way. But the average woman today in America, they'd rather have the child and get the little measly check and keep it pushing, because they don't see or want actual constructive families, because you're going to be under rulership of a man, and that's what they don't want. It's this renegade culture that we're in right now, fellas. So be careful. Be very careful. Let's continue.
Support is about the needs of the child. So there is in no way, shape, or form. I know a lot of numbers are thrown out there.
What do you get on child support? Let's just say it, right?
I cannot talk about that, but I can
Give
say
me
that a man is not a financial
5
plan.
figures?
A man is not a financial plan, and that's
5
all
figures?
I'll say.
I'm gonna tell you. So I've heard the internet number and I've heard a real number, and I don't believe the real number at all.
Okay, so like I said,
this is what I've heard. The real number is. I've heard that you're getting less than $2,000 a month, and I was like, no way she would do that for $2,000 a month.
I'm not getting less than 2,000, and I'm not getting 200,000. So at the end of the day, what my child.
So what is the number then if it's not that important? But it goes back to show she's getting some out of the deal, because in her mind, it's better getting a residual check without the presence of father and anything else, because the majority of Western women, modern or whatever, feel it's better to get a check from a child than being a family, a whole family at best. And to me, that is backwards thinking, illogical thinking.
What my child needs is what my child needs. And that's between me and his father. That's not for the internet to discuss. It's about my child's needs. Okay. So again, a man is not a financial plan.
How do you survive? How do you live? Doesn't look like you're needing for much. How do you get paid?
Social media. Same. I mean, how do you get paid?
I mean,
I have women who support me. So whether a bunch of...
I had to fast forward that, because she said the only way she get money is from social media, which I would say that could be true. But there's many ways she's getting money. but she won't tell the public that. And you know when you can tell she's capping when she go and throw and ask the rebuttal question of DJ Academic, how much you get paid? No, bitch. I asked the question first. This ain't a two-way street when it comes to questioning and asking a question. Rebuttal with a question. We don't do that here. Let's continue.
Guys online feed off to my videos or pictures or not, they don't really pay my bills because they're not buying what I'm promoting.
If you didn't link up with, if you didn't link up with these celebrities, whether you had sex with them or not, do you think you would have this type of interest?
At the end of the day, there are a bunch of beautiful women online. You refresh the explore page and there's a bunch of attractive women. There's a lot of women with fat asses. There's a lot of women who, whatever, they have attention. The reason that I feel like there is such a draw to me is because I open my mouth. Because I have something to say. I have a message. Okay? And a lot of people may not like the messenger, but it is what it is. So I'm not known because of the guys. That may be how you know of me. That may be how maybe some of your viewers know of me. But I've been Brittney Renner, and I'm still Brittney Renner, and will continue to be Brittney Renner. I didn't think when I made my Instagram account in 2012 that 10 years later I would still be doing this. Like,
you mean 9 years later? I'm just keeping track of the numbers.
I'm still relevant. Like, who cares, right? Mm-hmm. But the reality is I am a person of influence. If people were not so triggered by the things that I say and the message that I bear, there would be no space for me. Just like a lot of people have a problem with you. Okay? Right. If there wasn't a space for you, there wouldn't be a space for you. There's a space for me. That's why I'm here. So it's like you give men a little bit too much credit because they don't validate me. At the end of the day, I'm a bad bitch. Having me on your arm, you can say whatever you want. You told me.
But they do validate you.
No, but
having
they
interest
don't.
in you.
But at the end of the day,
if you're a bad bitch that no other entertainer wants to sleep with, no other entertainer is lusting over, men who are watching are not like, hey, I am drawn to this woman because of her beauty. What's the interest?
Well, I think that's a little suspect if you're basing someone's interest off of another man's interest. You should just have interest because you do. So if you're more concerned about if I'm on your wish list or not, that's fucking weird to me. And that should be called out. That's strange. So because another man wants to lay claims or say that they're interested, that makes a woman more appealing.
That's the shade room.
Weird. That's weird.
Well, think about the shade room. The shade room is literally like an entity that's based around covering the baby mamas, the girlfriend, side chicks.
And what do you cover?
I cover rap.
Okay, so what's the problem with what they cover and what you cover? What's the difference?
It's not a problem with it.
What's the difference?
No, it's about accepting what it is. Like, there's certain people who I cover because, hey, you don't make good music, but you're entertaining maybe just on your Instagram.
Okay. You may not be someone's wife, but you're a baby mama. You're interesting. What's the difference?
I'm trying to get you to understand and maybe even accept that why some of the people care about you because you fuck some of their favorite entertainers, allegedly.
No, it's not allegedly. That's a fact. But like always, she's not going to tell you the people that she entertained if we want to go there. Hell, matter of fact, did y'all recall when she took a trip to go see Colin Kaepernick? After their little, I guess, fling, he made that chick go pay for her own ticket to go fly back home. Y'all remember that? Ever since that happened, we come around here, she was going and messing around with these young dudes like a PG Washington. And the reason why I say this, because there's a trend here. There's something that leads to this pathway, or we call the breadcrumbs that leads to the goal. That she don't got like that, like she used to got it. And she know this. So she just now take her time to go seek out a mate or a male just to potentially, how we want to view it, as cash out. Because at the end of the day, you can't fool men, sweetie. If you had the high value men line up like you say they do and they were going to offer marriage, why are you not even securing some form back? I tell you why, because at the end of the day, most of the dudes, they see what you really are. And they said, no, this is not a woman that I'm going to deal with long term. This woman is a quick fuck and keep pushing. It is what it is. That's how they view her. And she can't accept that. And she's not willing to accept it because she's delusional. Like most of these chicks. Let's keep going.
Fair though. No?
That's kind of strange, sure. But I'm sure people have their own reasons.
It's of course strange. This whole entertainment thing is strange.
Right.
There's people who watch me to talk about they want to hear me talk about YoungBoy. Their fascination with me is for me to tell them about YoungBoy. Might be strange, right? It is kind of strange. However, that's what it is. So it's like a lot of times I feel like the disconnect is realizing why the intrigue is around like you as a person. But nevertheless, we're here. It doesn't matter either or. Watching you get to this point, first of all, I think I do have a newfound, I'm gonna call it respect. Newfound respect.
Let's hope, because that's just the basics in
Do you care though?
human relationships.
Because
what
I felt,
care what?
and we talked about this before, but it was off camera. I felt you probably disliked me.
That's an assumption. And when you assume, you make an ass out of you and me.
Okay, that's a great little cliche to run by. But here's the thing. When you are mentioned on my platform, you're usually fucking stoned with a lot of hatred, a lot of just comments that are very targeted at being very negative. So I assume that's what it was.
Mm-hmm.
I hate that you do that.
I'm sorry. I'm so not sorry.
Sit here and tell me that you don't
One second, guys.
have those moments where, because I have, where you're a little disappointed that people are driving a narrative that might paint you in a light that you're a really bad person. You're a finesser. Like shit, I came into this thing like, damn, Brittney Renner, what a fucking finesser, man. And I kind of still do think that. I really think there's a nigga in Jackson State that you about to finesse. You know what I mean? And not finesse in the sense of, I think the easiest thing to say, like, you're finessing money, but it's like, you know what you're doing in terms of the next person we see you cuddled up with, you're going to play the little...
He's a lucky man.
You're playing the whole role right now. Like, in terms of I'm going to do what I want to do. I'm going to fuck who I want to fuck. But that one nigga, you're going to go back to the same person you were with, what's his name? PJ Washington.
I'm not going back to anybody. At the end of the day, I stand on everything I do.
But you turn into white. You try to be wifey there, but now you're not trying to be wifey.
But you're not. But we had talked about this earlier in the interview, where I literally told you that I used to carry shame. So now that I've realized that there's nothing shameful about me, the man that I'm with is going to have to accept me as I come. It's just that simple. Like, this is who I am. I can be devoted to you and still be full in my expression. So I don't know what part of that was missed, but I don't even know why you even still think I'm a finesser. And if I'm a finesser, I'm a really motherfucking good finesser, because here I am sitting on the couch with you.
You're great.
But I think all I've done is
Yeah, she is a good finesser. She's cunning, I'll tell you that much. She's very slick, very cunning. And most average men can't turn down a Brittney Renner. They look at that artificial body, because she had her body done right. Maybe had her booty done, her face probably augment. I mean, she's the actual package. A dress size 4, I think that's what she is. And it's the body that most men that got some money and means will drool over. She's not dark. She's very white looking-ish because she's mixed. And this is a black man's heaven and his worst enemy too. Or hell, if you want to call it. So, like I said, I think she will get another mate, a man in particular, that might possibly, not say possibly, wife her. I don't know who it's going to be, but I'll tell you this much. This dude that she's going to probably entertain, he's going to be in for a rude awakening. If he's not watching these clips, this live stream, the things that's done on academic stream, and the one that's on KS stream, and her Instagram. And see, one thing we don't do enough, no matter what age we are, we don't investigate some of these chicks. We go by people what they tell us about them, but we don't do our thorough investigation. And I think the time has come that we need to start doing that. And it's not for our safety, but just to know who the fuck we deal with. You want to be a person that's dealing with a lit bitch that possibly will take you for everything if you're not careful? Do you want to risk that as a man? Especially a man that's young, as on your way, your path, your purpose. Do you really want to risk all that? What PG Watch is going to pay in child support is pennies compared to what she'll probably get in the near future with other men. Believe me, what I said is factual and truth. So let's keep going. Fair use.
Told you the truth. All in our DM exchanges in person,
No,
all I have is be myself.
Hold on.
So if you think I'm a finesser because I'm myself, I don't know what to tell you.
All right, let me explain what I believe, what I'm saying.
How am I a finesser? Answer that question.
Okay, perfect. I'm answering.
Can't wait to hear it.
I feel like when certain men look at you.
Now, see, DJ Ekkemet, here in the man space, most men will agree with me with this, and we always say this and we preach this. We do not go by feeling. Either we know or we don't know. We use our logic. We get away from feelings. That's a bitch type of thinking. Women feel. Men should not be feeling. It's keeping it real.
Say yourself. Don't speak for everyone else. Speak for yourself.
Okay.
Let's
not talk about me because you wouldn't do that.
No, I want to know. No, speak for yourself. Because don't speak for other men. Because how do you see me? How am I a finesser to you? I'm not asking about all these other people. How am I a finesser to you?
I'm glad you asked that. You wouldn't be able to do what you did to PJ Washington and me. So that's
what did I do to PJ?
I think he thought he was buying into someone who has changed
and
who was you just came here and just said like, listen, I gave this nigga.
I did change, and I changed for the better. And at the end of the day,
and then you basically said that you were trying to be something that you thought was gonna appeal to a motherfucker, but that really weren't.
No, what I said was that yes, I watered myself down, stopped being less fun, acted like I didn't want to go out. Really just at home, like in the tower.
Save his ego because
but I realized I shouldn't have to pacify a man to show I'm devoted to you, because there was not one man that there were a lot of. Let me finish. This is not a monologue. We're having a conversation. You're talking about what I did to him.
Yeah.
Be loyal to him. Have his back. Be emotionally supportive. Hold down the house. Bear a child for him. Oh, you wouldn't be finesse. You got the better end of the deal because you have a tie to me forever. Me being your baby mama is good karma because I'm a good person. So, yeah, me being your baby mother would be good karma for you.
What? What did she just say? Good karma? Oh, fuck no. Oh, hell no. Bro, men, if you're watching this and you're hearing this, you've been warned. She said that being a baby mama is karma, good karma. Last mention, there's no such thing as good karma. Karma's karma. How you being a good baby mama is the best benefit for this brother? Matter of fact, let me do this. I gotta do this. Yeah, I have to do this. I gotta do this. Let me see if I can get Charles on the line. And for those that's listening, please like the stream, share the screen. All right. He's not available. Matter of fact, let me see if I can get Amiri on here. All right, guys. I'm gonna see if I can get the Great Liberator on the line.
What up, kid?
What's good, bro? What's good, bro? I know you're catching the live stream. I'm still live streaming right now. Let me ask you a question. When a woman says that, you ready?
Yeah, go ahead. What you say?
And the car and people in the background can listen to you. We're still live. Let me ask you a question. If a woman said that having her as baby mama is good karma, What comes to mind
She said what?
when a woman said that having her as baby mama is good karma? What comes to your mind?
I don't know. She said having her as a baby mama is good karma.
Yeah.
It's more silly shit.
Say that again, Mary. Say it
I
again.
said it's more silly. I said this is more silly shit.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
This is more silly. This is more silly. You know what? It's just like this, man. It's like because like all this relationship stuff that people talking about, it's all based on economy. It all goes back to economy. Because you got like I see people make the how a lot of women feel like it's better to be a baby mama than a wife, and that's true.
Yes.
Being a baby mama offers them more financial security than being a wife to a lot of these dudes. A lot of these dudes ain't got no chips, they ain't got no bread. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So that's an economic issue. And you got a lot of guys complaining about the symptoms of the cause, which is they broke as hell. But you see why they broke as hell, because all they focus on, you see what they focus on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can't blame these women because they feel like being your baby mama is more financially beneficial than being your damn wife. That's on you. You need to get your weight up, period. You know what I'm saying? You need to get your weight up, man, period.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? What it is, they want these women, a lot of these dudes want these women, they expect these women to struggle, they expect these women to starve. Like, that's why where do you think that term ride or die come from? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Think about that. You think this woman, the choice of this woman is ride or die? Get the fuck out of here, man. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You ain't got no business asking no woman to starve because you ain't got two shit together.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Serious. I don't want to hear these niggas' mouths, man. You know what I'm saying? Get your weight up.
Yeah,
Get your weight up. Brian, like we were talking the other night on Teapot channel, these same broke ass dudes that be on YouTube all goddamn day.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? All day.
Oh yeah. Oh
And
yeah.
it ain't like they're making no hella side money. They live all that show me is they living from broadcast to broadcast. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
They living from broadcast to broadcast, man.
Okay.
So, you gotta get your weight up.
Mm-hmm.
I don't blame these women.
Okay.
Being a baby mama is more of a financial come up than being your wife.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But want to blame the women. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I told you, they get paid 75 cents on the dollar for what their white male counterpart get paid. You think they care? No, they don't care.
Mm-hmm.
They totally ignore that.
Okay.
And they ain't going to do nothing about it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So shit, what you expect?
Yeah. Okay.
You know what I mean?
All right.
So what, you still alive now?
Yeah, I'm still live now, but let me continue playing this. I'm coming to wrap the live up. I'm saying I just want your take on it.
I'm at work. That's what, you know what I'm saying? I'm working right now.
All right. We'll talk later. All right, cool.
Yeah.
Everybody, that's the great liberator, Mary Brown. You know what I'm saying? Yes, indeed. Let me continue playing on this. All right, let's continue. It's almost done with this anyway.
Because I'm a good person. No one has been finessed. No one's been bamboozled. If
I'm
anyone,
assuming he's a good person too.
A good person, not a good partner. And there's a big difference in that.
Explain that, because you alluded around that before.
He's not a good partner. That's all I want to say about it. He's not a good partner. And that's okay. He's not a good partner. And you guys can make whatever you guys want to fill in the blanks with, do that. But you act like if I were to be with you, this is the happiest you'd ever be. Because I really would have your back. I really would love you unconditionally.
You took advantage of that nigga, man. He was young, and by the way, that's the only reason why you're getting flagged. We gotta be honest. That's the only reason why you're getting flagged.
Because he's 6 years younger than me.
Yes.
So
he was green. He was green.
How do you think we met? How do you think we met?
You tell me. I don't know.
He invited me to a Kentucky basketball game.
Of course, because you're someone. Yo, if I could, Maya. I don't even know. No disrespect to Maya, or even Ashanti. Like, no disrespect to Ashanti as well, because I just her. They're older.
Both beautiful.
Both beautiful.
What's wrong with their age?
Hear what I'm trying to say. If I remember them on posters when I was younger. That's when posters existed before, like, we just really had, like, I mean, everything.
Okay, the social media, right? Okay.
If I turned 18 and the person who I was, like, you know, into, like, as a teenager, I had access to because of now my money and fame, because be honest, you ain't picking, I don't care, you can say all you want, you like niggas with 6'8", blah. You're not fucking with that nigga unless you're a basketball player. Let's keep it 100, bro. Let's really keep it 100. You also didn't even say that was only your type. You got mad types. There's something about where he was at, his stature, probably his potential, which by the way is smart. Women should choose all potential. I ain't gonna lie to you. That attracted you to him, right? But he was in a state where, to be honest, you were more in control of where the situation could go. We all look at him as somebody probably blind in love, unwilling to see, and I've been there before, unwilling to see what everybody else sees. Like, yo, that girl right there, she probably has this intention, blah, blah, right? Whatever the case is. And he fucking just jumped all in.
You're so wrong. Like, so when did you think, what age do you think I met him? Let's fucking
How old is he now?
He's 23.
He's
when do you think I met him?
fucking 23.
When do you think I start, like...
When did I have the kid?
We just had a kid this year.
This year.
May 5th. He's a Taurus.
Goddamn, this year. All right.
I know I look amazing.
That's good. You were.
You're supposed to be amazing, bitch. You're not over 30 yet, and you're petite. Now, most women that after they have first child, they let their body go. And normally, the older they get, the body gets worse. But if you're always a thin and petite woman, which she is, and got her body done, because she admits she got her body done, you don't have to worry about after you get the baby for the first time, you're going to put on extra weight. No, that's not going to happen for you. I'm just keeping dead serious. But it goes to show you that most women don't take care of their health once they have children. Let's keep it real. Let's keep going.
So let me just...
You met him probably like a year and a half ago.
So what would that make him?
So he would probably be like just after 21. So it's just after 21.
I met PJ when he was 20 years old. 20.
About to say.
No. 18 and 20, 16 and 20.
He probably don't even know he's going to like the fuck. Wait, was he the league at the time?
No, he was still at Kentucky. Okay.
And you're Brittney Renner, who he's seen all over the fucking media with these people.
So this is what I really get so fucking annoyed about is like, so when do you as men take accountability? You're old enough to ride.
Okay, now this is where she gets lit right here. She gets very angry. And let's be honest. I think, let me do the background check of PJ Washington when he got drafted. Because that's something to know about. PJ Washington. PJ. Oh, here he is. He popped up. I gotta know when he was drafted. Okay. Yeah, he just turned 23 in August, so it makes him Virgo. They said they list him as 6'7", which he should be 6'8". I don't know why they list him less. He was drafted in 2019. Imagine that. She said she met this dude at 20 years of age. So she met this dude right at the point where this dude was just about to be drafted the next year. Isn't that coincidence? That's not something that's surprising. That's actually strategized. Well thought out. So when dudes be talking about that she did plan this, she did plan this. You played your cards right on a man or a boy that's now a young man that was going straight to the league. I'm looking at the timetable. You're not knowing this dude straight from college. You know what? As he just about to finish or about to be drafted the next season. So by the time he turned 20, 3 years ago, of August the 23rd, so that means she came across and knew this dude just as he was playing his, I think, how many years he played in Louisville, Kentucky? Let's check. I think he played maybe 1 or 2 seasons or 1 season in college. I could be wrong. Yeah, I think he only played 1 season in college. I wouldn't be surprised if he played 1 season in college, to be fair, honest with y'all. Yeah, I'm right. I think he only played 1 season. Because if he was 20 years of age, I mean, either two things happened. He played 2 seasons in college or one, because he got drafted in 2019. So as he met him after his birthday, August 23rd of 2018, the next official year, he got drafted in the NBA. I want people to pay attention and listen to me good. This woman's not no joke. She planned this from the start. That's why a lot of dudes, when they hear her talk, they don't take her seriously. So let me wrap this up, because I want to finish this. And I did drop the link if anyone comes up. I'm not staying long, Kari, past the time.
This ride. You want to fuck with me. You want to come at me. You want to fuck me raw. So why are we babying men who make decisions for themselves? Like I told you, I was on birth control up until I had a conversation with my baby father. So what do you think happened? So I imagine I got a leg lock him. No, let me.
The maturity of men and women are different.
No, stop. No, it's because men and women are held to different standards. Y'all want to look at a 20-year-old who wanted to fuck. I was 26 when I met him. You want to fuck with me? Here's what it is. Nope. Like, stop acting like someone had to pull the wool over his eyes. I was exactly who I am right now. And stop. Let me finish. I have no reason to be. I have no reason to lie about anything that I've done or the person that I am. And I believe in full transparency. The ideal relationship to me is for my partner to know everything about me. So please stop playing this victim narrative. If you wanted to just fuck me and just say she's trophy pussy, I hit Brittney Renner, that's that. Why did we have a baby? Our baby's name is Paul Jermaine Washington III. Does that sound like an oops baby? Does that sound like someone who was bamboozled? You asked me to move in with you. You wanted me to have your child at 22 years old. And here we are. I told you I'm okay to wait. I'm not in a rush. I'm a very spiritual person. I trust in divine timing. I know anything.
To get married to him?
No, I'm not trying to. I just told you.
Were you?
I was. I thought that was my guy. And I don't know why it's so hard for y'all to believe that.
Now, a lot of things are red flags. She said that this man is your partner. No, if he was going to be more than just a partner, which that's what she labeled this relationship she's with PJ, and look like some type of partnership, like some little team shit. She does not make and will never be a good wife. She gives her too much of that so-called masculine energy, aka alpha energy. The only thing that she could attract is, and forever will be, a beta fucking male. Yes, I said it. A beta male. Because they cannot be two alphas. They gotta be an alpha and they gotta be a fucking beta. That's how things work. So let's keep going. Where is?
Like, in my mind, it's crazy to me that the age gap between Jay-Z and Beyonce, crickets. The age gap between Lori Harvey and Michael B. Jordan, it's crickets. Y'all don't have the same energy. Lori Harvey's 24. There's a 10-year age gap between her and Michael B. Jordan. Stop. But y'all picking, what's the age gap?
No, not talking about.
What's the age gap? No, because it's couple goals for people y'all want to be couple goals with.
Okay, no, it's not about being a couple.
Stop.
It's about certain permanent decisions.
Okay, so if something doesn't work for me, then why would I sit?
If someone's 32, and we've seen this.
We've seen it with Jay-Z and Beyonce. Address them. Okay. Address them. This is on the record. You don't care. Address them.
When did Beyonce have a child by Jay-Z?
When did they start dating?
It doesn't matter about
the age gap.
Nobody.
I'll tell you when they start dating, bitch. They started dating in 2000. 21 years ago. And you want to know the age gap between the two of them is 14-year difference. Actually, my fault. 12-year difference. My fault. My math was off. Jay-Z born 1969. Beyonce, alleged, born 1981. She just turned 40 in September. And I said allegedly because sometimes they always tell a lie that these women are a little bit older from what they said, but they never give us the actual date when they were born. So I'm not going to that. That's another story. But they're only a 12-year difference. They didn't get married until 13 years later, 2008, 8 years later. They've been dating for roughly 8 years before Jay-Z decided to marry Beyonce. Hold on. That's the honest truth. That's the honest truth. So, what her little problem with age gapping, her issue is that she feels because she's a woman, she cannot age gap with the opposite sex. And I'll be honest with you, in this society, we look at you differently, but because we live in a free country, you can do what the fuck you want. But you know, you're gonna look down upon doing that shit. Let's keep it real. So let's continue.
What's the age gap?
Hold on.
What's the age gap?
The age gap is significant. However,
it is.
Hear what I'm saying? It's
Nobody
not
wants
about
to talk
that.
about any of this shit.
You got you had a kid by him before he could even really get his legs.
That was
under.
his choice. I don't have to leg lock niggas. You want to fuck me raw and come at me? Accept what comes behind it. That
it's
child
even
was
on
planned.
both sides. If it was a woman, if it was a girl who just became 21 and a nigga who was 33 and she was pregnant.
But y'all ain't had nothing to say. Y'all had nothing to say when Diddy was with younger women. Y'all have nothing to say when Future was with Lori Harvey. It's fucking crickets. No, I'm gonna say people's names because everybody in this motherfucking industry is scared to open their mouth.
You can say their names all day want, bitch. It doesn't matter. The difference is you're a girl and these are men. No one's gonna really get in their feelings of age gap when it comes to men. Matter of fact, you know what's funny with this community? That I've started to pay attention. There's a large sum of a lot of women have their feelings that a lot of black men at a certain age and they got, let's say, resource that they're dating younger women. And I see why the problem is because they act and want to conduct themselves like a man. They want to do what men do. And I think that double standard should not hold against them. But no, say no. There's double standard for a reason. You got to do what a man does. Stop it. You're not that, sweetie, boo-boo. When we find PD dating young women, we don't have no problem with that because he could afford it. And he has the money to deal with the resource, deal with that young woman. Same with Future. And I think what's his name? Michael B. Jordan. These guys got the means and the capability to deal with it. I don't want to hear about this thing about age gapping when it comes to men. And what's good, Amiri? I know you're listening. Just like Amiri said off the phone, a lot of dudes and the average American nowadays, let's be honest, they can't afford it. Before I let someone up, let me go through 5 more minutes of the tape.
But y'all pick and choose. So what about Future and his bitch now? What's the age gap with that? Why is that not raising eyebrows? Because nobody gives a fuck about what men do. But let a woman be 6 years apart and I'm a fucking predator? Y'all are calling me R. Shelley? Y'all got all these memes and this funny shit? Because at the end of the day, Paul Jermaine Washington III is my child's name. So if people want to have their own opinion about our relationship, that's on you. I could call my baby father right now. He will laugh. He's not going to dispel any rumors because he loves this shit.
No, he's on Twitter subtweeting like, yo, I want to see my child.
He's allowed to.
Why don't you let him see his child? Let's talk about that. Because
I let him see his child.
First of all, we already feel bad for him because we feel like before he could even get a max contract, you already got a kid.
Do you guys feel bad for?
That's not our concern, DJ Academic. And let me tell you why. If you're gonna play with sex and fuck a lit bitch, and you just busting and shoot up the club, and even go as far as telling her you should have my baby, that's telling. That's all I want to say.
Someone who moved me in and wanted to give me a baby and named it after him. That's what y'all feel about?
We feel like you were more in control of the situation.
I was control is an illusion. So what are you saying?
Just like if a young woman who said, "Hey, listen, I met this celebrity at 19 and we started fucking around when we were 21." Even though you're 21, we're gonna feel bad for you because we know what fame and influence brings to someone, especially with permanent decisions. Just dating, we'll give you a pass. But once you're having kids, you're getting married, of course, those are permanent decisions.
Okay, so did I make this child myself, or did it take his nut to make this child?
Obviously, it took Toya.
Oh, it did? Oh,
I don't know how that went down.
Okay. Well, do you know how
he could have probably told you, like, I don't want to do it.
Do you know how life is created?
Yeah, but he could have told you I didn't want that shit. He'll be like,
so he didn't want a child, but he's going to name him the third.
Yeah, after it's going to happen because your body, your choice, right? No?
Oh, no. I gave him the option. Whatever you want to do. I love you.
So if he had said, not right now, you'd have...
I would have agreed to it.
So you just said... I mean, his fault.
Oh, wow. So now it's his fault. What?
PJ Washington, I can't hold you down no more, man. Yo, we got to
we were in a real relationship. There were real feelings involved. I mean, there was a beautiful child made. Just because it didn't work out.
Why the fuck is he complaining on social media then?
That's the $1 million question, isn't it?
Because honestly, he's the reason why you look bad. It looks like you're a user. It looks like you're, quote, unquote, a predator because of how he looks to be like a victim. Hey, I can't see my child. Hey, I know you all warned me, blah, blah, blah. And yes, I fell victim to it. And now I'm over here crying.
I don't know if he's still a victim. To be honest with you, I think it's a hogwash. Because let's be honest. At 20-some years old, and this is why a lot of dudes don't really feel too bad about PJ. Because at the end of the day, you're playing with your life and your wallet with certain lit bitches. A lot of dudes been warning about her, but see, the problem with when you're young and you let these alleged cougars get around you, all they do is do that one thing with their WAP, and they got you hooked just like this. So, fairies.
Fine. Not saying you should feel bad for me, but the internet's gonna feel bad for you because you know why?
What do you want me to do? You want me to go on there? You want me to do an Instagram live?
Do you ask him?
Of course. Why the fuck? We have conversations.
Why the fuck are you acting like you're the victim when you wanted to be in this situation?
That's the $1 billion question. I've asked him that in private. I've asked him that when we went out to eat. I've asked him that over FaceTime. We've had a lot of conversations. And, you know, the reality is what we talk about in private will never be public. I have no desire to be like, I'm not.
I had a fucked up theory. And
well, let's fucking hear it. It can't be any worse than what you fucking have said already. So
I've said this before. I'll just say it to your face.
Okay. Say it to my face.
PJ, if you're watching, cut this part off. Okay. I thought he was a cash out option. I was like, yo, listen, you've been with way more. No disrespect to you, PJ. I told you to cut this off. You've been with way more litter people who are more successful in their respective fields. You know, he's a millionaire, grandest and third. But I felt that, you know, I always say about women, and tell me if I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just fucked up in my thinking. Maybe I need to change it. You're getting older, and you needed someone, and you probably always wanted to have a kid, right? And you were like, hey, listen, this is the person that I'm going to not necessarily cash out with, but this is one who will do this with me.
It's like really audacious of you because it just proves my theory that I've always been in it for true love. I've been with men with way more money, and if I was truly an investor and trying to cash out so I don't have to work again, let me finish. I would have cashed out 5-6 years ago. Men with a lot more.
I thought everybody had you as a side chick. I'm gonna be honest. I thought everybody else had you as a side chick, and listen. In a male community, we know the chicks that's like, yo, that's side chick pussy. And then we know the dumbass nigga who wifes up the side chick. And we're like,
so what makes me a side chick? Because I'm beautiful? And
no, because the one who everybody fucks but doesn't wife. That's a side chick.
Boom. There you have it. Yeah, I think I'll leave that there. Let me see how much more. Let me play a little more. I think I'm done. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it there after this.
Sorry.
So who have I been side chick?
You wrote a fucking book.
Who have I been a side chick? But I was never a side chick.
Well, when you write a book about having casual sex, and by the way, now one of them claimed you. We assume, you know why men don't claim women? Because we have a real girl that we don't want to tell about you. You know that. No?
Well, the people that, I mean, I know that there have been a couple instances where I'm like, okay, I know your situation. I don't care. But that was when I didn't have any respect for myself. But as far as the people that I wrote about, you know, the first person I wrote about, yeah, I was. That's how we ended up together for a few years, because I willingly played the side chick role. But to sit here and assume that, oh, you're just side chick pussy, and why would you cuff her? But it's just it's crazy. But I'm saying, like, if I was really truly a business minded woman and I was like, I'm trying to cash out, I would have cashed out. I wouldn't have waited to 29. I wouldn't have worked as hard as I have. And maybe you don't see it because what we do is different. But at the end of the day, I produce content. I create moments. I bring traffic to businesses. That's why I get paid. I get paid to show up places, and there's a line outside because people want to see me. People want to be at the same club I'm at. So it's just really that simple. What we do is different. You make your money, I make my money. There's no judgment. But to say that you're like, to think that like, oh well,
when you're using your beauty and pussy to attract male.
I don't have to use it, because me just being me being beautiful is already going to attract a certain. You guys are judging me because of men that are attracted to me. What? How does that have to do with anything that I do? I'm not out here. I don't have an OnlyFans. I'm not here playing with my pussy. I don't have to sell you that. These men bring themselves to me. They're not even in my radar. But you bring yourself to me. You're sitting here trying to paint this narrative.
I'm not trying.
It's fun.
DJ Academic, you're gonna have to stop, man. She's just straight up capping. She's trying to, I guess, give validation to her looseness. Well, you can't do that. Not with a lit bitch like her. Oh, hell no, you can't do that.
Britt, like when you write a book, it's because you know there is. Lori Harvey's never writing a book.
Because she doesn't talk. Do you know what her voice sounds like?
She doesn't
have to
talk. She would have
what
to
her
write.
voice
It
sounds
doesn't
like?
matter.
No, answer the question.
No,
do you know what her voice sounds like?
It doesn't.
Yes or no? Do you know what her voice sounds like?
I don't. It doesn't matter though. You know
because
why?
I can't suck a dick and shut up. That's why you know me. That's what's different than me and all these other bitches that y'all talk about.
Hold on. Lori Harvey was being rapped about by 15 different rappers as being the trophy girl. She does not have to talk. She's now being wiped by one of the biggest actors. She doesn't have to talk. You know who usually talks? The girl who is being passed around, being a side chick, being disregarded. Now she has to tell her story. Lori Harvey even got played by Future in a fucking hit song where he's talking about heating water, and she just laughed it off. She didn't have to speak. You know why? Because the truth is actually there. We see what's happening with her. So again, that's the only thing I'm trying to say. When you write a book, the perception of what you are becomes this thing of, hey, this is a girl who's fucking lit niggas in the industry. And you have to at least understand that part of it. Come on.
And that's the end of that. Boom. Now, I don't give a crap what anybody say about most interviews done on Brittney Renner. I think now going back at this is probably the best one. Second to the other content creator, which y'all know what I'm talking about. But the saying goes by Red Spring. You are side booty at best. She said that she had a plethora of men that lined up to potentially, in her mind, from what she said, she could have cashed out a long time ago. But when I'm looking at how she carries herself, I would say bullshit. Because look how you carry yourself. You are so delusional. You didn't think you were a side chick. And you admit you were a side chick for the first few years. So if you're playing side chick roles, that's where you remain and that's your purpose. Now, the difference between you, Miss Renner, and Lori Harvey, is she knows when to shut the fuck up. How we know? Because her mom knows and is part of this game. She knows it well. She taught her daughter pretty well. Now, some dudes will find that she might be her view and how she deal with men in the business is a little questionable. But one thing I do respect, she knows when to cash out and when to shut the fuck up. You're not gonna get that with her. Somebody said she can't suck a dick and shut the fuck up. Yeah, you need to shut the fuck up. You go far. You go places. So that's it. The one thing, if anybody could take anything out of this stream, is that the so-called track queens out here are for real. And they are watching, fellas. If you're a man or a young man that has potential and you're going to be doing big, you need to be on your A game as fast as possible. You might have to start indulging some of this so-called red or these pill contents. You might have to start taking some game from the players. Men that got mouthpiece. As much as that's not good advice, but how I'm seeing how this environment is going right now, and a lot of you dudes are getting ringer for what reason, you might need some advice. And if it's not from older men, you better fight for some men that will teach you some game. The only thing I hope that the Ball brothers, one of them, LaMelo Ball, I hope he doesn't get caught up, because these older, washed-up chicks out here are going to try to get your bag if you were in the league. So the best precaution, like anything, you try to avoid it as much as possible. You screw the women that you know that you could trust. You might have some contracts signed, make a disclosure of any nature, and keep pushing. But you shouldn't be of any age. If you're having potential, should be letting yourself or put yourself out there to be got out here. It is what it is. It is what it is. And I'm hoping, and this is just me now, that, you know, a lot of young men are going to be hip to the game. And right now, I'm just hoping, and this is me now, that they see what's going on out here and they make the necessary adjustments. Because I tell you, the environment's not getting any better, it's going to get worse out here. Because a lot of women, they only see just to get whether their child support or anything in regards to, I guess, survive out here in this environment, and instead of being a good helpmate or a wife. And let's be honest, you have to be trained to be a wife to become a wife, you know? And I've noticed that a lot of women are not trained to be wives. As much as a lot of guys have been saying this for some time now, and I agree with them. But, you know, something has to give at the end of the day. And the best thing you could do as a man is to strap up hard and tight. You know, you might need 2 condoms or whatever you want to call it just to protect yourself. But like I said, don't expel your seed loosely out here, especially if you got something going on. Because these women will take you and for the cleaners, and they will prefer to be the single parents of today's world. Because, like Amiri said, it's actually feasible to be a single parent than a wife in this environment. So watch the signs, protect yourself at all costs, and always be safe out here, because the track queens are out here. And are you really safe? The answer to this question is no, you're not safe. But you can be safe by knowing the environment and moving accordingly. That's my suggestions and my advice. So I thank all those that was listening to today's stream. If you're new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button, the red button, and hit top bell for uploads and, you know, live streams here in the Chaos Rain channel. Also, I want to hear from you. Please leave your views and opinions and your thoughts and feelings in the comment section of this stream. You can also follow me on Twitter at Chaos Rain 7 and add me as a friend and communicate me on Facebook. Eric Rain on Facebook. And I'm looking for people to do some more interviews on the channel. So, hit me up from there and we'll chop up and talk. You get me? So next time, you know what it is. See you later. Betty Chaos, Rain.